Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And now, it's time!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the 2024 AFL Draft here on the Blue Abroad and Pommy in Oz YouTube channels. It's a multi-stream. I think this is the first time a stream's going on the same stream on 2 channels, Pommy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because I don't stream the footy abroad. So yeah, this is the first, well, the second time. The second time now, but yes, it's the first collab. Hey, do you know what I mean?
The first collaborative stream. Everyone's usually, true. The first collaborative stream for the draft.
Yeah, I mean, we're collab official.
Yes. Now, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Audio should be fine. Video is going to have this white tint, but you know what? You're just going to have to deal with it. It is what it is.
just deal with it, chat. Just deal with it. Big Darren Bloomfield, member of Pommy and Oz for 20 months. That's filthy, that Daz. Filthy, mate. Good day to you. Look, Terry's bringing back the 70s, aren't you? I'm pretty sure I found some VHSs in the attic of my pops when I was looking as a teenager that had the same hazy tilt.
I got to tell you, so I have done everything to get to the bottom of this. Everything except going and just getting a brand new camera. Now, this is a new camera, and yesterday it worked fine when I used Firefox, but obviously we had audio issues. So the mic wouldn't connect to Firefox and work well when it was on Firefox, but the video did. But now we're back on Google Chrome. The audio works fine, but evidently the video is like, I think it's like the internet telling me just to like stop. It's like, just stop for a bit, have a break.
Look, the chat of both streams are genuinely very kind and very nice. So I would imagine that the only complaints you'll probably have are on Twitter. So I mean, that's it. They're a tough crowd, but the rest of the world in normal mode is very kind. So look, it's good. Shout out to Damo in chat. Good day to you, brother. And Shan, I believe you're a mother for the second time recently. I did send my congratulations. So well done for doing it twice. See if you do it a third time. Bet you don't.
Congratulations to our Shan. Yeah, mate, and we've got a big night. We're going to go through every pick for the rest of the draft. We're going to start a little earlier. That's why we're live now. I just want to talk a little bit about Carlton first, because eventually this is going to become an AFL stream rather than just a Carlton one. Pick 3, Jagger Smith. Mate, I think there was a misunderstanding in the audience. I think people thought that we were mad. Now, those of you watching, I can't explain to you the setup that we've both got going on while we do this live. So if at any point last night you felt like we were not screaming and shouting because we got Jagger Smith because we were mad, maybe we should just share our screens. There's like 26 tabs open right now that we're just working behind the scenes. So we're a little bit distracted and we're trying to move on to the next pick. But Pommy, what'd you make of getting Jagger?
The Jags, well, we have talked about Mr. Jagger Smith at length across both of the networks. I think definitely the best available talent. Number 2 on my rankings, just behind Levi, but I have a penchant for NGAs. But you are getting a very complete a very, very complete player, a real complete player. I am going to drop a link for you in chat, and I do believe when I tested this out yesterday, it did go to him. But what I do recommend everyone to do after this show, and this is for Adelaide through to Eagles Sydney fans, use this link. It's a little bit of a backlink, but what it will allow you to do is I've got it pre-saved on episode 1, but save that in your bookmarks. You can actually watch every Coates Talent League game in full, in its entirety, from game 1 till the finals. Some great games there, but if you are looking at Mr. Jagger, he's got 360 moving. Unlike Sid and Finn, who have got the very same profile, direct running patterns, kind of like Tuck Miller. I always talk about Tuck Miller, direct out the back of the stoppage, flies through. Jagger can dance. He can spin. He can do that movement quickly anyway, left, right, up, down, whatever you want, which is a very rare gift. Different kind of point of difference than what we were looking for or what we were assuming to looking for. This guy here is a 15-year player that I think makes everyone in there better. And a great example of that, go on the VFL website, AFL, the 50 possession game. I'm going to give you it now, Glenn. If you go on the afl.com.au website, change the league you're looking at to VFL, and then go to round 18, Collingwood versus Richmond. Plays for Richmond. You can watch his VFL game, which he had 30 touches. If you go to round 9 in the Coates League, the link I gave you, game 9, Western Jets, 50 touches this guy has. So you can see him at his pomp and circumstance, and then go and watch the Collingwood versus Richmond game, and you can see him play against men. And you can see how, even though his size is an issue, right, for most people, see what I said about Nick Dacos when he went through the draft, when people said he won't play on the ball. The ability to evade doesn't matter if you're playing men, children, toddlers, the Incredible Hulk. Evasion is a gift, and it is actually easier to evade men than it is the children. So you watch him, he doesn't get touched. This guy would play football and not leave footprints in snow. I completely massacred that. Would not leave snow prints in feet.
You know, I want to watch a video that we saw today, and this was the behind-the-scenes footage of the Carlton box. I think this is one of the best pieces of content I've seen from the club all year, and I'm glad they did it. Check this out. All right? Check this out.
Shut the door, Mickey. Nick, shut the door. Good.
How hot are they?
Well, the ones on the left are mushroom.
They'll be
They'll be there.
I'll be going back to the kitchen.
That's what...
Not a good night.
Hang on. Hang on.
What's he done?
What's he done? What's he done?
Shut the door, Mickey. Mick, shut the door. Good.
How hot are they?
Well, the ones on the left are mushroom.
They'll be
They'll be there.
I'll be going back to the kitchen.
That's what...
It's not a good night to be a party pie. Still have a... There you go. Getting jumpy. We'll see. How are you? Seems like he's going to be there. Clearly, obviously hasn't told me, but he's keeping it. It's going to be a surprise for him, which is pretty cool. Well, yeah, we've got Jagger rated 1, and we think he's the best player, so and we're on, aren't we?
And that's not one. We've got everything again. There's only one place I ever had. And it's here.
It's been a long day. Oh my god, seriously.
Just going to run through and do a quick roll call.
You say present. Good. Present.
Carlton.
Hearing can hear.
Absolute coward.
What?
It's present.
Present. I did present yesterday.
Can you do present? It's going to go 1-2, and then we get our man at 3, which would be huge. It's so exciting. Oh my god.
What do you like him?
Just fits our side like an absolute glove. Yep.
Oh, is that big?
He's yeah, he's pretty special. Wherever that packet was down there, there's a brand new packet of them. Is there oval teenies down there? Oh.
You never had it?
They're like it's like Milo but a lolly. Didn't you have them as a kid? Yeah.
colours, preservatives? I think they are.
Lunchbox fun. Are you nervous? You get nervous now? How long have we wanted Jagger for? The second we got to 3, they were worse. Been all about him. Come on, let's get this show on the road.
2 minutes.
Top it in there. 2 Gs. It's an unbelievable result. Get it in, Jaggy. How many Jaggers have played for Carlton, Will? How many? Well, you got him. I just can't stop looking at it. Missed opportunity with the song choice.
Yes.
Where's Kurt? No. There he is. Leo's got the kid out there. Wait. Wait, what am I?
That's not great.
Clean, smart, step.
Congrats, we're not now.
Well, wait. It's
What's
as good as it could have gone, that. Oh, it's unreal. Oh my God.
That's exactly what
You're going to like coaching him.
he's brave as well.
Yeah, he's. Oh, he's awesome. Yeah, he's been captain of everything since he was 12. But, oh, just yeah.
It's sort of like funny because it's sort of, it also turned a stepping point to
No, it was over 4 or 5 days. It was like a test match. I mean, is he going to be there? I said we were watching him, but every time I watched him, I thought, geez, whoever gets him is going to be pretty happy.
That was fantastic, though, that, wasn't it?
Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. I mean, it was raw and it was real and it was authentic. And it's hard to always make that content, I guess, if you are the club. But brilliant. What did you make of those comments?
Yeah, it's good. I was just about to say it'd be great if you know, the documentary I want to see, because I think what's fascinating is just to see how invested Agresta and Austin were. Like they were like players, how you'd imagine players were. They looked nervous. They looked shaky. It looked like they were about to play a big game, which it is their grand final. Would it be great to see all the clubs, 1 to 18? Would it be great if after the event we could see an in-camera reaction of them seeing how it is? Because I'd imagine it just shows how invested they are. Because I'm only small time. I cover these kids throughout the year, but you do grow attached to them. Like Sid Draper, Lockie Cowan, years gone. You kind of follow their thing, and it kind of like you kind of become invested in their story as well, just because you've been watching them from afar and wishing them to your club. So it'd be fascinating to see that from all the other clubs. Like, I'd love to be in North Melbourne's list management when they were like, Jesus, Matt Whitlock's here. We can get the trade. Like, I'd love to see that.
Hey, is my mic cooking up again?
No, it's just coming really clear. At first, it sounded like you were miles away, but
yeah,
now it sounds like.
But now I'm like normal mic.
Yeah,
sounds
HD.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The video is going to be the video tonight, but the mic, we need to get crisp mic audio. No, you know what I took from that? What I didn't know about Jagger is that he was captain when he said he was captain of everything since he was 12. So he's obviously been top of the food chain from the very start.
Yeah, well, it's something that we mention a lot, particularly when we talk about Carlton. Nick Austin does have a leadership leniency. He does like that. So that's fascinating to see that another leader. I mean, it's tough to understand. Is that huge? Is it a bearing on things? But obviously, it does show that, genuinely, I'm sure Australia's like England. The captain of under-16s means you're the best player. It's not the best leader. It's the best player, isn't it? So, but you look at Jagger as well. Interesting parts of his story. We covered it when we talked about Jagger a while ago and last night as well, that he helps out around training as well. He does coaching sessions with the kids as well. So that's another string to the bow. They're the kind of things that I like, not so much the leadership, but your ability to get around the club, do them little things. Because at the end of the day, I've spoke to a lot of these kids. They do grow an ego, and sometimes they become a bit detached from reality. So it's great to see that Jagger has been back at Richmond Junior Football Club, done his work. He does that as well throughout the levels. And it is all worth noting as well. Mr. Austin didn't mention it, but one of a rare feat has occurred with Jagger Smith. He has been in the Sandy team for 3 flags.
Really?
So he's been in the Sandy squad in the seniors since under 16. So he's been part of 3 flags. So he's a serial winner, Terry.
Can you shed some light on? I got a text today saying he had a year off. Can you shed some light on what happened there and why?
So let's go through his draft profile. Let's have a look which year he missed. So Jagger in 2022 he did miss, but 2023 he had a massive year and graduated and won at Scotch College. So I don't know if you've seen that picture around, but 2022 he did not list, but in my notes, there is no reason why. So that is news to me. So if someone can shed some light, it doesn't appear to be an injury, though, because he did represent Scotch. So that's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's like he took a year off from playing for some reason. I don't know exactly what happened. Foxwood, who finished high school a year earlier, not footy. Okay. That might explain it. Anyway. He turned 18 in January, so he started school early. That's definitely true. If you're born before, I think the cutoff is like April. Yeah. Anyway, he's here, and we're excited to have him. Now, let's paint the picture for Carlton fans tonight. So, let's set the scene. Maybe let's bring us back to our power rankings. But let's go from a Carlton point of view. For the Blues, what are we looking out for tonight?
So, yeah, I mean, from here now, we've got some really good players. We've got Jobe Shanahan, who has been the big slider. Dodson, Ruckman, been very early. So, from a Carlton perspective, for those interested, this is probably the round we're going to start seeing bids. Probably from 35, but we have got the sauce, the master of bidding. He's only done it once, but he's got a bit of a reputation. So he did it a bit earlier, as he has been in the mood. It's going to be very interesting. This is a fascinating round, though, here, because you've got Richmond's final pick, so they're going to cement their list. Doggies come back to the table. They traded into that. And the Eagles are going to be in a fascinating position because they got lucky with Bo Allen. Suddenly, they're going to make that trade they did with Carlton look very impressive should someone else slide. And I do want you to keep a watch out for Essendon. Essendon may be looking at this at the moment. Jobe Shanahan on the board and thinking, you know what, let's come. Let's get in now. Let's try and get in, because I think Jobe Shanahan would really complement Essendon's list.
Okay. So if you're Carlton and we go circle back to our preview, we have Noel Miraz, James Barrett, and Peter O'Farrell. These are 3 defenders. Now, we here at Blue Abroad are looking and assuming, or guessing, I should say, that we're going to be taking a defender. Is there like a chance that we don't take a defender? And if so, is it a good chance? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I mean, you've got to look at it this way. Carlton have obviously promised a list on spot, train on spot with Sam Durden and DGB, which with them offing a few projects like Domaku and players like that, you would suspect that that means they're going to bring one of them back as the Sam Durden role and then have a developing defender on there. That would be the thing. So it would be an educated guess to go for a key defender. Obviously, you've got priorities there. You've got James Barat there, number 9 on that list. So he's that wonderful Carlton-esque, and I think a lot of clubs, Hawthorn will be interested in him, can play both ends. Noah Miraz, more of a defender, pure defender, and then you've got Harry O'Farrell to a lesser extent, whose name will come up on there. So I'd imagine one of them will be on there. One of them will be on there. But I'd imagine Carlton will be looking to add 2 key defenders at some point. Do you know what I mean? At some point. And one of them will be on the rookie list. One of them will be here. So we expect Carlton to use 4 picks. If you watched my video early, I did it with how many picks they've got for the list spots. So this could be a fascinating one because for Carlton to come out publicly and say they're going to use 4, you would assume that means they don't expect to bid.
Right. Well, so this is how tonight's going to work, ladies and gents. We now turn our focus to the draft again. Richmond's on the clock. 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Mate, they haven't messed about. They haven't waited till 7:30 to start. So they're on the clock. They're about to select. The power rankings you see in the top left-hand side are Pommy's power rankings of how he sees the next best available. Top right, next 5 picks to select. And then bottom right, the last 5 picks that were made. So these will be updated as we go. Now, this will be a bit of a challenge tonight because maybe not for the next 10 or 20 picks, but after that, I don't know if there's going to be too many highlights of absolutely everyone. So we will do what we can. We'll have highlights brought up as soon as the picks are made, and away we go. So, Pommy, turning our minds now, you are Richmond, pick 28 coming up, 2 minutes 50 on the clock. What are you looking for after an incredible first night at the draft?
I mean, I think Dodson would be tasty. A good Richmond friend of mine earlier today also alluded that it was expected they'd take a small forward at some stage as well, because that's something that they've lost and they don't have a plethora on the list. So you could make an argument for a small forward, but as you can see, small forwards at this stage, slim pickings. Jasper Olga, though, is there. He was a late riser and potentially has slid. So I like Dodson here because I think you can get smalls from elsewhere. Generally, they are late. Alex Dodson is a very intriguing player because he's that modern-day ruckman, very similar to a player like TDK, that modern-day athletic, ball-using ruckman. Great kid as well. So this could be intriguing here because small forwards I don't really value as much because I think you can find one. They have got a pick really late, which they could use, 89. But I think this is something you could rookie. Do you know what I mean? For a year, tide yourself over. So it's going to be interesting what they do.
Okay, interesting. I'm just going to move our videos a little bit here. So then we can put some comments up. Pom, if Dodson is still available, is it a worthwhile pick for Carlton at 40?
You see, this is where when you ask about Carlton's pick at 40, it is the players here that you are in the realms there of Jesus too good to turn down. So I would say anyone on that left-hand side column that is after 35, we're in the realms of too good to turn down, change your strategy. So I probably wouldn't look at a ruckman, but Jack Whitlock would intrigue the crap out of me.
Jack Whitlock. All right.
Seeing we keep converting key forwards to key defenders, we might as well get a key forward.
Well, they're not going to be staying in that one position for their careers. I mean, that's just the way it is. Jacob Wiedering even played forward.
Don't remind me. So, I mean, this is fascinating. I mean, The team that are really exciting to watch here are definitely the Dogs. I'm really intrigued about them and what they come up with in this area here. Like that, they had a real good first pick, Cooper Hines. They'll be chuffed with that. They've got as close as they can to a Bailey Smith type. They're really open season at the minute, so Christian Miraz has been heavily linked, but they'd be looking at this draft board now and going, there's a few here that we didn't expect to be here.
Yeah. Well, the 5 minutes is up. Richmond's pick is in, and we will know shortly who they're taking. So stand by. Here we
It is
go.
fascinating as well. Matt Whitlock went before, because I don't think any draft board had Matt before Jack. So I think that's fascinating.
Who is this? Thomas Sims?
Thomas Sims. So Thomas Sims. So we are. This is fascinating. This Tom Sims, because Tom Sims is a key forward, another Northern Knights boy, and a guy incidentally who was probably just after John Farrell John T. Farrell on most people's draft boards. And again, Northern Knights tax, we always forget about them, but Sims is again a different prototype to the other ones. 199, real tall, can play in the ruck as well. Very, very mobile, very good in the air. And this is a real intriguing selection. I suggested a Ruckman Dodson. You can see this here because I think the modern day Ruckman was starting to stray away from your Nankervis types. You're looking for them more mobile ones. And I do think that would come into a mobile ruck forward. These rucks seem to like to go forward. TDK, players like Luke Jackson. So I could see a little Luke Jackson type inverted, more forward than middle, but has all the key facets. A very intriguing pick for them. And it's bizarre because they have got 3 tolls. So I wonder if Richmond are looking at this, Jonty Fall, this guy, and Harry Armstrong. Is one of them, have they seen something, particularly Tom Sims with his ability to intercept and read the ball in the air? Is one of them maybe going to be that Noah Bolter at the start of his career and be back and middle? That could be a real intriguing one.
So the natural question I have is, why are they taking a third key forward?
Good question, Terry. And that's one that, unfortunately, I can't answer you. I can speculate. I would guess in this case what that would be my suggestion. Maybe they've seen some areas in Tom that suggest to them maybe we could play one of them tolls we've bought as a more versatile type player. Play him down back, something like that. So he has got that skill set where you'd say his ability in the air surpasses his ability to kick goals as well, even though he has kicked goals. So this could be a intriguing one, but some good clubs, Terry, have covered. Keys.
All right.
Keys. We did it once, if you remember, a long time ago.
Lockie. What was that name? Lockie something from St. Mary's?
Lockie Jakes.
Lockie Jakes.
Yeah, so Lockie Jakes, Geelong's country football roots coming up chumps here. A very, very good footballer, and one that, I think most people had going, hopefully, to Geelong. I think that's what people were looking at. But this kid here, halfback flanker, very strong defensively, has a little bit of running carry as well. Leadership qualities galore as well as the young man, and very good pickup there for doggies, isn't it? The Bulldogs are on the clock, so this is a very good little pick from them, and probably about where we expected him to go, maybe a bit later.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, Lockie Jakes or Jux?
I believe it would probably be Jacques with him being... It's South African, isn't it? So it's always a hard...
What have you made of the hair? I'm noticing more and more buffier hair this year. I don't know how to judge the boys.
Well, I've got to say, I don't get shocked when I look at hair because I've got kids. So, like, when my kids tell me who's popular and stuff like that, the hairstyles that the young men DOS now compared to when I was a kid I wouldn't class it as popular. So I think it's a trend, isn't it, Terry? And I think the things I did when I was a kid will probably be different to you. And the trend, isn't it? You know what I mean? Everyone's a fashionista.
All right. So give us a bit of an update now. Power rankings are going to change. The Eagles have about 3 minutes left to go. We're in their selection room right now. What are they going to be looking to do?
Well, I think the Eagles here are going to be looking at these selections, and Hamish Davis is an obvious choice. Is an obvious choice for them, giving him the Western Australian link. But Tom Gross would be intriguing. Do you know what I mean? James Barrett would be intriguing. Do you know what I mean? They've still got, their senior players are still elite key defenders. So they could be looking at it from that avenue as well. Really, the sky's the limit because Jobe Shanahan, no one wants to talk about this, but did play a lot of time down back as well. So this could be a real, exciting pickup for Eagles where they go, you know what? We back our system, we back our culture. Let's bring him in and play him down back because he did show a lot when he played down back.
Yeah. Hey, Vinny, love your work, mate. Thanks for being here. Hey, have you seen Vinny sing? Have you seen his work?
I haven't, no. But
do you remember,
he's got an Italian name, so I'd expect he can sing.
Do you remember Vinny? He used to come on the fan cams 2019, 20 with the guitar.
The name rings a bell. It does ring a bell.
Vinny creates music and it's really good. And we should all listen to it. Vinny, love your work, mate. All right. 1:30 to go. The Eagles. Now, if you're Carlton here, Barrett, Mraz, you don't want any teams taking them. We want them both available with pick 40 in an ideal world, right?
Yeah, and as the picks go by,
picks about to go in.
It's becoming more and more likely.
All right. Jobe Shanahan. He has been selected.
Finally, God bless him. So the Bendigo Pioneers boy, we've just been giving him huge raps. He finds his way home, and a guy that has really excelled forward, but also was a converted backman, and he did show a lot down back. So this could be a really intriguing one for the Eagles. And that pick swap now for the Eagles, they've got two players that were scheduled to go in the top 15 in most people's draft boards. So this is probably the best, the best case scenario has just actually occurred here. This is a dream draft for West Coast Eagles. And this guy here is strong in the air, mobile, great kicking action. And what a huge result for the Eagles. The Eagles have absolutely nailed this draft as of yet.
Well, it just goes to show sometimes you just got to wait and see what happens when trades go through. A lot of people are like, why they give up pick 3? Well, you kind of got to wait and see who they draft before you make that judgment call on why they gave up pick 3. So now all of a sudden that trade looks completely different to what it did 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, and it was something that I mentioned in my videos. I think you're going to see someone make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. Teams are going to have different values. So it's fascinating when you've heard Carlton saw Jagger pick 1, which was, I had him 1 or 2. The best available free talent. Then you look at other list pundits and stuff like that. They had them different. So it's really fascinating that the clubs will be the same. Some of the clubs will have had this guy pick 5, this guy pick 7, and obviously West Coast. I said one team will be in the perfect position where teams make mistakes, and it's just so happened that West Coast have been in the position where teams have jumped the gun. Tom Sims jumped the gun a little bit. They've gone with what they want, not the order. So fascinating that the Eagles have done it, and the Eagles will be looking now and going, we've got another pick 44. Who could be around there?
Well, the Dogs pick is in. It's about to come through. I like the pace that we're going at. We're not fluffing around. This is good.
Poms. I told you it's quicker now. Bit harder for Pom, this.
Josh Dolan.
Josh Dolan.
Do we have a Josh Dolan in the Carlton, in the Blueborough community?
The name rings a bell, but
Am I tripping?
The name rings a bell, doesn't it? But yeah, Big Josh, half forward, 177, incredibly clean. And like all Sandringham boys, it's really boring at times. These guys just literally are football geniuses, really smart, real good provider as well for his club, and good pressure as well. So the Dogs there really have targeted players. They've really got that Caleb Daniel type replacement. They've gone out and got the Bailey Smith replacement, and then they've gone that really nice area there with a Josh Dolan type, who was a tough player, good intelligence, and that's a really good pickup for them. And you know what? It sometimes is easy, isn't it, drafting? It's easy drafting when you've got a plan.
No, I'm not talking. Okay, a few things. First of all, no, I'm not talking about Josh Holden. I'm telling you, there's a Josh Dolan. He has glasses on in his profile photo. I'm sure of it. I'm sure
Fast
of it.
name.
Dolan is his surname for sure. It might be Jack, but I'm pretty sure it's Josh Dolan. When he comes on, you'll remember me.
It rings a bell, that thing. But yeah, good selection by the Doggies. So the Doggies are there of Lockie Jakes, Josh Dolan, and Cooper Hines. Big win.
The pick is in for St Kilda. That means...
Told you, chat! He won't do it!
Let's just see. Is Sauce going to make the bid?
No bid?
Really bid. I'm just waiting to play a little meme. The pick is in. Who are they selecting? Quickly?
James Barrett, I reckon.
All right. James Barrett. Well done. You nailed that.
Well, the reason that I've had a guess there with James is purely, even though I don't think it's a need, I think what they're looking at is protecting Max King. And I think that is a smart play. James can play a versatile position. He's got all them key fundamentals, great kick. He's great as defending, but it gives you a little bit of a safety net because I feel like when you look there, I know the need has been midfielders for some people, but I think that what Sauce knows, keys are hard to find. Keys are hard to find in any draft. So although it's not like a sexy pick if I'm a St Kilda man or girl, I do understand it. So good selection for them there, and I'm sure they'll go well. And as we predicted, once they traded out, I think it was pretty safe they wouldn't bring in that type of player. So good selection for them. And Sauce has done what Sauce always does. Why he's so hard to read. It might not be a dire need for them, but he's hard to predict. He goes with what he wants. So he's obviously cementing the front and back stocks.
I like this guy. Out of all the three that you put up for our pick 38, which is now 40, I like this guy's highlights the most. So I think they've got a nice one there. Now, the other threat, we'll call it, for the Blues is Port Adelaide, because the two teams that people were a bit afraid, not afraid, but mindful that the bid for Ben Camporeale might come from, one was St Kilda because of Sauce, and one was Port Adelaide because of the Adelaide connection. So we've got about 3 minutes to go until Port Adelaide's pick needs to go in. If Port Adelaide do not make a bid on Ben Camporeale here, is it fair to assume that there won't be a bid on him?
It's going to be tough. It's going to... I mean, never assume. I mean, it'd be interesting because I think Matt Rosas, with him being the first time he's ever been list manager on his own at this football club, I don't think he's going to be a dickhead. I think he's got to change the thing. So, like the St Kilda pick, I understand Saints fans are getting upset. I appreciate it. I'm surprised he's taken 3 defenders. James Barrett can play forward though. But I would say it's 3 different profiles of defenders. So I would say that the rumours were Hunter Clark, half-back flank, the other Naz Wanganeen, half-back. I would imagine they're going to be promoted to midfielders, and Sauce loves a tall back line. So this could be I'm surprised, but I would have said, I had a gut that a mate told me today, James Barratt was landlocked to Saints if he got past Eagles. And so I used a bit of mail there. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Graham. I wish I could give you what you want. I want to.
No, fair enough. Well, we've got 1:38 to go. Port Adelaide on the clock. The pick will be in shortly. They got they made a trade yesterday. They traded up for Joe Berry, which was
They did. They tried to get in front of Fremantle. Eagles helped them out, which surprised people, and they still ended up with Bo Allen. It's going to be fascinating. I mean, a lot of talk here was that they'd like a key. So this is fascinating because Jack Whitlock and Joe Berry, if you're Port Adelaide, you're like, Jesus, we've just taken the piss here.
All right.
And I'd imagine Angus Clark may be available at pick 38, looking at the profile of the teams as well. So this could be huge. But I mean, they've got take your pick here, haven't they? I mean, look at the players they've got. Dodson's there, Clark's there, Jack Whitlock fits the. I mean, what an effort! What an effort!
In. And
Jack Whitlock.
I think that's 3 in a row from you.
So, yeah. So it always helps when a team bids and buys a player that they actually want. So that makes it a bit easier for my job. But yeah, Jack Whitlock, what a great player there. And if you wanted to find someone who is akin to Charlie Dixon, this is the guy. Can go in the ruck as well. Has flirted down the back. He is agile. He's like every key forward we've seen. You know, when it was cool to be good and athletic, all of them are now. Jack Whitlock is that player, real good kid. And I'll tell you what, he's going to play a bit hungry, I reckon, because his brother's been taken before him. So I reckon you're going to see a little bit of a, you know what, I'm going to prove that I'm the better brother. So looking forward to see how that pans out. But great selection from a Port, and you'll be pleased to see, if you look at your power rankings, I'm just about to add a name that you all know very well.
Hang on, I'll let you do that. We'll time this perfectly. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Was Jack not rated higher than Matt pre-draft, or were they similar?
No, spot on. That's what I'm saying. It's just fascinating that he was ranked higher. Was Jack, and plays with that. I reckon as a brother, that'd piss me off. Do you know what I mean? Like,
hey, question here from Leonard. Hello, Leonard. Why did Port trade up one spot last night when they were already in front of Freo?
It's an interesting facet of why they did. The rumours around that are obscure. There isn't like any fixed thing, but one of them was that they were worried and concerned. There was an inclination that Eagles would take. So that's the official statement. The Reddit forums are there is an agreement that there'll be another trade done later where you look after them.
There you go. Great question. I didn't pick up on that.
But yes, that's what the official line of stance is that they got wind that he spent a lot of time in WA. Fremantle put a lot of time into him. And I think it's a good thing. People are saying, they've overpaid. Get what you want in. And look, right now, Jack Whitlock's come in. What a win. Like, what a win.
Yeah.
So Fremantle are going to be interesting. They were heavily linked with Jack O at that point. They're on there. And they've already got Murphy Reid, the big slider. So Jasper Alger as well. If you wanted Joe Berry, get the Audi version. This could be a fascinating selection.
Wow. Okay. So positionally, what do Freo need in your view most?
Well, I think I genuinely, when I was selecting this, it was small forward, bit of mid help. So they've got the mid help, and then maybe look at a key position project. I think if you can get a small here, if you can get Jasper Olga, I think you're cooking on gas. Like I'd say Fremantle could have close to an A grade if it's Jasper.
Jasper Olga, he's got a very Fremantle Docker name, does he not?
He does. He does. He does. You know what is sad is that the Whitlock brothers have been separated. You see, I get more excited when the brothers have moved because I'd love that. Coming from three brothers, I'd love to be at a different club to my other two brothers. Like, I'd love that.
Yeah, you don't want to be living in the shadow of like your brother, for example, especially if you're a twin.
Yeah, because I'm the middle one. So if I got drafted to my older brothers club, I'm always going to be the underling. Like, that never goes away.
Shout out to Steph Degani, who, if she's watching, she can relate to being the middle child.
Yeah, but when you're the eldest, you're always going to be the boss. So if my little brother came here, I'm treating him like rubbish. I'm pushing him apart, letting him know I'm the daddy. But if I was the little one, there's always that. He's the big one. He's the in charge. I like the fact you're separated and you're the king of your castle and you can have a bit of banter. Like, that was my favourite thing Ollie Holland said to me in an interview where he said, I'm just looking forward to playing him and smashing him. Fremantle's pick is in. Charlie Nichols.
Charlie Nichols?
Charlie Nichols, 1971 Arsenal goal scorer in the FA Cup. That was for your players there, but an incredible marking toll. So if you're looking here, we talked about key position players. They've gone this here, and this guy here is a very traditional target. When you're looking for a target player, this guy marks for fun. Very strong in the air. Really nice goal kicking action as well. South Australians are blessed at goal kicking action. They always have. It's like garlic butter. So real good selection for them. And he's going to be fascinating to watch up there because he just hits targets. I mean, he clunks anything he gets. So really good selection there. And probably, again, back to why we said they might not go small at Richmond. You can maybe fabricate that elsewhere as well. So that's probably what they've looked at. Good selection. And welcome to the club at Fremantle, Charlie. Great name as well for a forward, just so you know.
Great name.
All the best. All the best.
Quite a few key forwards seem to be falling in this section.
Genuinely, what happens? The AFL. I don't know if you've ever done drafts at home, chat, fantasy drafts. But have you ever noticed if you're doing positions, whichever guy goes for the ruckman first, that round becomes ruck rounds. Very similar in the AFL because right now you're looking at Alex Dodson, and if you're like, I think Essendon may look at Doddo. GWS, it's going to be interesting because they've already got Logan Smith, remember, in my opinion, the best ruckman in this draft who's free. Who's not free. Hawthorn may look at it as well. So this is fascinating.
If you're predicting Hawthorn's move here, what are you doing? Firstly, what do they need?
It's interesting when you look at like the AFL needs of what the clubs need. Like Hawthorn, when you look at it, you think they've got pretty good density around their list. They've drafted so well in the last couple of years. I'd say they'd like a bit of key PD, key position depth. So, I mean, I'd be looking at this and do you take... I mean, because they've got good rooks there, haven't they? Like, Guerin would really stand out there because he's a forward rook.
Cale Guerin?
Yeah. I believe his name's pronounced really weirdly. I don't know if anyone's in chat can do it. It's like Jurin.
Oh, Jurine?
Something like that. It's like, it's way too complex for a northerner.
Hypnosis. Our next pick is pick 40. So you'll see the Carlton pick 40 in the top right corner of this screen when we get to the power rankings.
You know, if I was them, I've just looked at the next to come. I'd have a look at Josh Murphy here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at key forwards. I've just ranked my key forwards because Charlie Nichols has gone.
Well,
yeah, I'd be.
So
yeah,
look,
I think
if we're thinking of Hawthorn. Sicily's going to play a bit more forward. They've got Kausha Deer coming through, Mitch Lewis coming off bit of an injury. The pick is in. Are you watching this on KO or AFL app, by the way?
AFL app.
All right, you're ahead of me. So
just refresh your stream. That's what I do. Oh, Noah Mraz.
Noah Mraz. Oh, you did say
Hawthorn.
You said
Noah
Mraz to Hawthorn in our preview.
Yeah. Sometimes I try and play head games though, Terry, and I was hoping like maybe I had this knack that they were listening to me and drafting who I wanted. So trying to figure out Noah Mraz though, an absolute behemoth defender, and it makes sense. You've got James going forward. Sicily, as you said, this guy's hard at it, good in the air. He's got a body as well that's ready for football now. Had an injury at the start of the year. He had I've forgotten the name of it now, but it was a bone thing with his feet, which kept him out. It was a crack, and it got progressively worse. So, but this guy's got one of the fastest 2K time trials. He's an elite runner and a real strong player. So this is the kind of player that Sam Mitchell will look. And for a big guy, this guy kicks the ball sensationally. Real good kicks. So great selection by them. Well done, Hawthorn. But it's all right. It's all right. Carlton fans, don't despair. There's still some good players there.
It was Was it a navicular injury? The nasty foot one?
There you are, Terry. Well done. See, there you are. This is why you have a mate who's good at Latin.
Well, I'd like to take credit. It was actually Juddy Sports. But yeah, thanks, Juddy. See, Juddy always coming through, mate, with the goods.
Yeah, so Noah Mraz leaves our board. Bye, Noah. But Carlton enter the next 5 chats. For those who are watching at home and excited about a back, here he is. So this is going to be a fascinating selection. A real fascinating selection, but we've got who's next there? Oh, here we are. Logan Smith.
Your boy Tom Gross. Oh wow, hang on. The pick is in. GWS.
Tom
This is
Gross.
a great. I'm enjoying this pace, by the way. Really enjoying this pace by the clubs.
Is it Tom Gross?
Don't know. Just waiting.
Oh. I was like, bastards. I hate it when they do that. But yeah, This is going to be an interesting one because
GWS.
here they look for generic players.
Jack Ow.
Ow, I stubbed my toe. So an elite wingman. Very similar profile Jackie has got to a very, very famous player that we love, and that is he is the tall wingman, and that is a bit like Blake Acres. Think of him, incredible at running down the back, being that outlet ball. This is such a GWS type pick, so real good selection for them. And just what GWS do, they love them type of players that are just safe picks. They don't really take punts. So again, fair play to them, and it's going to be interesting what GWS do now, because there will be a point we see Logan Smith be selected, I'd imagine. So, but very good player, and well played to them.
Jack Ow. Yeah. Curious name. I like what I see from him. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're like me and you're a sucker for wingman, he's an easy watch. He's the lad. So done very well, and great selection by them. Just it's the classic selection that they do. It's just sickening at times what they do.
Now Essendon will be next to pick 37 coming up. 2 picks coming up out of the next 3. So we're going to go Essendon, Port, and then Essendon again. Surely this is a ruck here, or at least a ruck with.
At this stage right now, if you're Essendon, you're looking and you're going, let's go Dodson and let's hope Tom Gross falls.
Okay.
But it's interesting. We talked about the bids, and if you watch the video, I might have got Jagger Smith wrong, but I did talk that the bids are going to come later than you think.
Okay.
So it's I don't think Essendon have that incentive here to bid, and I don't think Port are into it because they know that he wants to move to Victoria. So Essendon, I'd be surprised. I think Matt Roses is going to be quite nice this year, and he's got a lot of work to do. But it's going to be interesting what they do. What would they go for here? I'd definitely say Dodson would be high up on their list, massively. They've got Keiko in the shed, so that's a good win. It's going to be interesting what they do. I'm going to put my neck on the line. I think this is Dodson.
Dodson? Okay. I'll have Dodson highlights ready. Okay, well, the pick is in. I'll ask that question shortly. We're waiting for confirmation of it all. Will it be Dodson?
Gerin. They did go tall. They went different ruck. So interesting Dodson sliding. Really fascinating. And we talked about Ned Bowman yesterday. Had an incredible combine and was said to have absolutely blown away recruiters. Always makes you think, what happened with Alex Dodson? Why was he the poster child of this draft, having chosen AFL to basketball? How is this happened? So it's fascinating they've gone Gerin, but this guy here, more of a forward than Alex Dodson, fits that profile as ruck forward, incredible in the air. And you know what? You want to see him kick the football. As a ruckman, he's kind of built like Alex Murkoff, but he can actually hit targets. Like he's a gem of a kick. So great selection by Essendon. Matt Roses having a very good opening draft session.
Got a nice look about him.
Good kid, man. Good kid. And them WA boys, mate, they don't get enough love. A bit like Tassie boys, they don't get enough love. But I tell you what, he can football.
Is the non-Vic bias is the Vic bias thing really real when it comes to draftees?
100%.
Oh, the pronunciation was Gerayan.
Geran.
Gerayan.
Cheers, Saz. Love you.
Thanks, Saz. Gerayan. Kale Gerayan.
See, that's why I love you, chap. Because
wow. Hey,
you're educational.
The pick's in.
Does it say picking or bidding?
Christian Moraes is the pick.
Okay, so another wingman. So this kind of wingman here is a guy that was scheduled at the start of last year to be a potential pick one. So let that sink in. They're getting a bargain. And he is a very, very good footballer. This guy is one of them players that has just not really got it together this year. Plays half forward, plays full-time wing, has even slot back at half-back. If you use that link, go and watch the games against South Australia. He was phenomenal. 1.5 goals a game, one of the fastest 2K time trials in the country. Quick, good ball winner, and needs to really just tidy things up with his kicking action. But a player who is very strong, and had no preseason. So very good little footballer, great selection by them. And you know what? The plot thickens, doesn't it? These they just keep sliding, chat.
So run me through how someone can possibly at any point be spoken about as a potential number one pick to being drafted with pick 38.
Yeah, so he was scheduled to be, we expected him to be potentially easily top 10, potentially top 5, have that kind of Ollie Hollands type vibe. Had a bad knee injury, so he started his season very late, and he just kind of progressively got worse from there. He just never really got going, was moved around a little bit for the Eastern Ranges as well. So he just never really got going for the poor lad. But you know what? One man's trash is another man's treasure, isn't it, what they say? And we've seen this before. Players just fall out of favour, come back and bite you in the arse. a year later. So he's got ready-made football. So it's going to be interesting. Good selections by Port. I'm very impressed. And Essendon now come to the table. They've got Kale, which is going to be interesting.
I'm just
What
reading
do
that.
they do here? Tom Gross, he's staring at them.
So, all right, now it's the pointy end. You're Carlton. You don't want to bid here. You're likely not getting it. Who's the best player available for Carlton with pick 40? And has your opinion changed? Because you did have Harry O'Farrell in our preview, but I can see he's not on this in here. So what's the update on what Carlton can be doing?
It's fascinating here because Tom Gross being there is just filth. And if you remember, I've been a Gross boy for a long time.
Yes.
A long time. We are in conversations right now where how is he there? How are these players there?
Like, who's there on this board right now where you've just like it's a real shock?
Dodson blown me away. Tom Gross has blown me away. I had him going 28 in my draft. Big fan. And you know who Tom Gross has got? The profile of very, very similar to just a different style of Sid Draper, but high impact. Like we're talking mid forward. Great season he had this year for Oakley Chargers as well. It's a compliment type player, but Jasper Olga also. But Angus Clark, the halfback flanker. Told you there wouldn't be a bid. So Carlton now, world is your oyster. This is going to be fascinating because everyone is there.
Everyone's there that you want?
Just so many options for the Blues. So many options. But Angus Clark, absolute great selection by Essendon. They get a real live wire, a guy that could probably be top 20, user of the football, leadership material. Very similar to Archie Roberts with pace, who they drafted last year, who's more of a mid. Really good selection by them and be intriguing now. So this is interesting. If you want a key, Mr. Harry O'Farrell comes in, a guy that was littered with injuries last year, never really got going, but a guy who was spoken about as the best. If Nick Austin picks Tom Gross, though, I might lose it because that's the best.
We're in a position right now where outside looking in, it'd be nice to get a defender, but Tom Gross being that mid-forward player, you didn't think he'd be available. So what are you weighing up now? Okay, we really do need a defender to back up for, Wiedering and to, cover for the loss of Marchbank and Sam Durden. But Tom Gross is available and this is an opportunity.
It's a massive opportunity. I mean, no one would have seen it. I mean, Jasper Olga, small forward as well, who's been kicking goals out of his backside. It's tough. It's tough. I'd like to see Tom Gross here. It's going
to be
love
Tom
to.
Gross. I can smell it.
I do think as well if you watch my
pick is in, mate. The
preseason predictions, I did have Tom Gross as one to watch. Harry O'Farrell, there you are anyway. Terry, I redeemed myself after yesterday. Harry O'Farrell, the father, the son of our lawyer, comes in. And you know what? You may be disappointed, but like I said to you, if it wasn't for injuries, Harry O'Farrell could have potentially been the best defender in this draft class. Incredibly athletic. He roams. He reads the play well. He is a very strong footballer. So I'm very pleased with him. Good football user. And if you remember our video, Terry, like Lewis Young with quick, hard IQ. So great profile. You can see Carlton have been trying to make it work. It hasn't worked. Off his welcome to the club. Great selection by Carlton. No surprise there. Tom Gross, please keep falling.
Wow. How do you get pick 3? How do you get pick 38 or 40 right? Isn't it harder to pick a pick 40 than like a pick 3?
Look, I don't think anyone appreciates it's hard getting it right all the time. And you know what? I did say, if you actually watch that video, I said I should have Jagger here, but I'm going to make it a bit harder for myself because it's easy having this many picks.
Mm-hmm.
So I should get a bit of respect for making it hard.
A bit of respect, mate. Bit of respect. So Harry O'Farrell, yes, for those asking, yeah, that is our lawyer's son. I wonder if
I get any love on social media. Oh my God, well done, Pom, you did that.
Hey, isn't it one of the most unique links to have the lawyer and his son at the club? Like, what happens if Touchwood Harry gets in a bit of strife? Like, does one of his Kate kicking action interference techniques and gets rubbed out?
There'll be some rule, won't they? Like, Sauce can't be list manager, even though he's been list manager for 10 years. And now suddenly it's a problem. There'll be one of them weird things, but it'll be fascinating, won't it? It'll be fascinating. But you know what? Great selection. I'm stoked to have Harry at the football club. One of my favourite draftees this year as well. I've really enjoyed the games that Harry has played. Calder Cannons are one of my teams, my guilty pleasures. So great kid. Really highly. I know a few junior coaches, and a lot of them said things to me that Harry is a sponge to learn, sponge-like. So he's learning from the best. Can't wait. And we're back, baby. You thought Pom had lost it, but he's back.
It's O'Farrell.
So yeah, I love Harry. So great position, and you know what? Nick, if you're watching, you could have given me Tom Gross, but there he is. But yeah, key defender, can also slot forward, actually. Can actually slot forward as well, kick some really important goals as Harry O'Farrell. So really good selection there. And I'm happy with that one. But Sydney back on the clock. Now, this could be interesting with Sydney because they may try this could be one that someone like at this stage now, if I'm looking at Dodson, and unless Dodson's done something stupid, like you remember last year, I can't remember the name of the player, he went to North, but he ended up bringing alcohol to an under-18s club camp trip.
Okay.
And that made him slide. I'm not speculating Dodson's done that, but I'd imagine Dodson's obviously put someone off somewhere. So it'd be fascinating when that comes out because, like, honestly, it's crazy. When he said he was going to play AFL football, all the articles where he's turned down NBA, he could have maybe played NBA football. Basketball, he had options at all the colleges. It's weird that there was so much publicity about Dodson and we are at pick 41.
Right.
Like, it makes no sense. Ari Showmaker, cheers, Damo, mate. You're a legend. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how that's happened.
Give me a status update now on Ben Camporeale. So, when's our next pick? Camporeale.
Right, what we're looking for now is we've got pick 55. I am going to say these are your warnings. These are your warning teams, right? Brisbane, because they've got more picks than they actually need. So Brisbane might start being douche canoes around pick 49. Mm-hmm. Sydney are the masters of bidding, so 52 is a watch. And maybe Matt Rosas at 43 may go, this is fair value now. He was the 35th best player in the draft. You've been kissed on the cheek. I'm going to do it. And that's an acceptable bid. So
but if you're Carlton, so if you're us now, we were sort of looking to see, hopefully the bid didn't come before pick 40 so we could pick a player and get Ben. Is there a situation now where we can take another pick and Ben?
Yeah, 100%, because we've got list spots, Terry. We've got list spots, so we can use all the picks remaining in this. That's how we've got exactly the amount of picks for list spots. So Carlton can keep picking until there's a bid. So this will be fascinating that if we can get Ben after the next pick, dream case scenario here, long story short, Jasper Olga is there, pick 55.
Another small forward?
Well, you've lost Owies, but
You've lost
Olga
Owies,
is
true.
everything that it is in the immortal words of the 80s band. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is in my heart. People asking about Harry O'Farrell. Who does he play like? I hate doing comparisons, chat. Harry O'Farrell, if I had to pick a footballer that Harry O'Farrell reminds me of, a quick version of Nathan Murphy at Collingwood Football Club.
Okay. All right. The pick is in for Sydney. Nothing of a bid. No bid.
Yeah, so Sydney might bid on 52. Oh, Riley Bice, the Werribee Football Club superstar, and great to see some VFL mature ages get a bit of love. He's had a fantastic year as well as Riley Bice. Well deserved. We're starting to see these guys. Another guy to watch out for, Sam Davidson. But this guy here, very similar to who the Gold Coast took, the young lad whose name escapes me, but he's a dashing rebound defender. Reshaped his game. He used to be a forward. Now he's playing down at halfback, finds the ball, overlap runs, loves getting into the channels, and real ready-made player. So really good selection by them. And it's great to see VFL boys get a bit of a go, because it's a tough place to play footy. So Bicey, well done, mate. Welcome
He is
to
the first player of the draft where there are no YouTube highlights of him. You know what? That goes to show how far footy's come. But we just got to pick 41 before we couldn't find highlights. Now, there's been a trade. Brisbane have traded out pick 46 to West Coast in exchange for a future third. So West Coast have traded up into this.
West Coast.
Why would they do that?
Well, they had a bad they had a bad trade, didn't they, with pick 3? Let's be honest.
Right.
On paper, it's bad, but you look at that draft board right now. If you're a list manager at the Eagles, you were like, and 2 weeks ago they were going to kill me in Perth.
Ooh.
And right now there is a chance I could leave this draft with Hamish Davis and Tom Gross. Hamish Davis, Josper Olga, Hamish Davis. Like there's no bad options in the next 4 picks. So
Okay.
for the Eagles, suddenly they're in a great position. Eagles now are looking and going, told you it made sense.
Well, a bid has been made for Ty Gallop. And so Brisbane.
That's probably why the trade has happened as well.
Brisbane 47.
Brisbane have got wind. So Ty Gallop, this is a fascinating one. Because I said if you watch the video today of what to prepare for, I did say, be careful, because teams love going to Brisbane Academies type players. And it's happened a few times because they're very good players and a very, very powerful built kid. He's very strong through the core. He loves kicking goals as well. He's been real strong for the Allies. Brisbane will match this because this is definitely a need on their list. But Geelong have come to play. So I'd imagine Brisbane have obviously got wind, and that's why they did the trade. And it's fascinating because you know how tight-lipped the AFL tries to be. It's amazing how clubs know when bids are about to occur, and that's a very early bid.
Well, a trade, Brisbane and Gold Coast. Gold Coast have traded out a future third for pick 47 from Brisbane.
They are so dodgy.
What's going on? Can you explain this to me, who doesn't know what's happening here?
So what Brisbane are doing is they're trying to get rid of any picks of use and trying to get it to cost them as little as possible. But get points in for next year and be able to match this bid. So this is really a smart play because Brisbane have got a few NGAs next year as well. So remember, next year we half the points effectively from the third round. Everything's worth 0. So this is really, really a clever play. You're seeing Brisbane, who are the masters of this, and the one going for the kill. I couldn't agree more. This is my one issue with this system. We're now getting teams like Gold Coast are coming into it. Eagles are getting better. And Brisbane are basically being able to match this for nothing. I personally wouldn't like... I think this needs to die in the game. We shouldn't be allowed in trades to match bids.
Okay. Why is it taking... Okay, another trade. Brisbane have traded pick 49 to the Dogs for a future third.
Oh dear!
This is banter. This is what is.
Oh, you see, this is it. And big shout out Shano from Port, mate. I'm so happy for you, mate. Your draft has been absolutely sensational. So I'm so happy for you, mate. I know you were eager to see what Port did, but you've nailed it. But yeah, this is the issue with our system, because what Brisbane will do now is they'll hold picks. They'll hold some picks because they've got quite a few young kids to worry about this year in the draft. They've got Billy Richardson as well, who's got a chance. Tom Gillet has been phenomenal as well. Fergus McFadden, Ty Gallop. There's quite a few, do you know what I mean? Charlie Hewitt. So there's quite a few.
So this is like a mechanism for Brisbane to not have to burn picks and not get anything out of them.
Yeah, and you know what? Leonard makes a great point. Every time one of these bids is done, they get 5 more minutes. So,
mate, what is going on? That's garbage. Wait, but this is great for us because we know that there's going to be no Ben Camporeale bid, right?
Oh, you never know. Geelong might just go, okay, you've matched it, Ben Camporeale.
Oh, true.
Like, Geelong are obviously in the mood now to be a dickhead. It's going to be interesting, though. Geelong, what do Geelong need? Geelong are a fascinating needs analysis because the humour in me says they need to get younger. That's what they do. But in reality, we can't mock it. But I did genuinely, when I look at their list, I think midfield, a little bit, some more youth in there, a bit more midfield in there. So the guy that really jumps out of the screen is Xavier Izovic.
Xavier Ivizic or Izovic?
Izovic. This is where my speech impediment comes into it. But this guy here is a natural ball accumulator. He reminds me a lot of Tom Atkins in the fact that he's kind of unheralded, goes about his work really, really smart. Didn't get invited to the combine, so that's quite interesting. But there is a lot of interest there. An elite kick as well. He kicks the ball really well, finds the ball incredibly well, hard endurance. So this is going to be fascinating what he does. So any Eastern Europeans out there, give us some pronunciation help on that one.
I can help you. I just need to know, is it IV or IS? Because IV is Ivizic.
Number 10.
Oh, so it's not Izovic, it's Ivizic.
Ivizic.
Yeah, mate. Deal. Yeah, mate, killed it.
Hey, mate, sometimes the old dog comes out. So we've got to change this now to 43, 44, 45, 46. So Ty Gallop joins there, like we said. A need. If we're honest, it's a need of what Brisbane want. We know that they're heavily linked with Sam Day in there. It's worked out very well for them because they've now got a plethora of points for next year as well. So it means that they basically get 3 top 10 players, which they have this year in Levi and Sam, and they get a developing key position. Brilliant.
Great. I feel like the flow of tonight is so much easier. Well, not easier, but just more comfortable. Oi! All right. The Ben Camporeale bid is in. It's in.
Big Ben!
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
All right. So the Blues have to match. What are we doing? What happens?
Yeah, so Carlton now will have to match. So let me bring my Matcheroo screen on. So where are we now? We're picked 43. So Carlton now have to put 249 points on the table. So it's not that bad really. We're in a happy position. So 249 points.
Wow, look at him. He's
Carlton,
like hyperventilating.
who?
Ben, they're showing him. He's like literally hyperventilating. He's like,
Honestly,
that's so cute. That is so cool. Look at him go.
Such a lovely kid. So Carlton will lose 56. They may look to trade this, but where we are at this stage of the draft, it's not costing a huge lot. So Carlton will probably now, they'll lose 55 and that'll be it. Mm-hmm. They'll lose 55 and that'll be it.
Yep, Ryan Brooks, we are matching. We are going to lose.
They are
56.
So Carlton, So Carlton lose 56, and that's it. It's just going to cost us one pick. So Carlton, that's the dream scenario that we were talking about in our mock videos. So I'll take some apologies saying that, although Sauce will definitely bid. You know what? I had faith in Sauce. I had faith in old Saucy.
Laura Kane. Great outfit, by the way, in the light blue. Ben Camporeale, she said. And
it's a fascinating one as well, because like these are the kind of things that Carlton will have prepared for. I think that's probably the best case scenario for the Blues as well. I think that the Blues will be very stoked that he slid this far, because it's literally he's way worth the next pick, if you know what I mean. The next pick we had, he was definitely worth it. So Ben Camporeale is officially a blue bagger. Welcome to the club, and we've done pretty well.
Done pretty well. So he comes in,
mate. Honestly, if you see that's pick 54, that's cost us, like I was just saying earlier.
56.
You're never getting a player as good as that at that pick.
Yeah.
In a million years.
So had we have used pick 40, you think that was still, was that too early? But now that it's at 40, 43 or 56 that we've given up, it's value.
Mm-hmm. Say that again. Sorry, I was reading, making sure I've got everyone right. What was that?
So earlier there was a bit of a fear. Had someone bid on Ben before pick 40, our pick 40, that would have meant we would have had to given up pick 40. Is that right?
Yeah, it would do. Yeah.
Okay. So now that hasn't happened, and now now that we've taken the kid with pick 40, and we've now given up pick 56 to get him, now that's considered like super valuable.
Yeah, pretty much. You've nailed it. So basically, what we've done there is we've basically jumped the queue, if you look at it that way. We've jumped the clue of where we thought it, because if we had if it was taken at 38, let's just say, or 40 as it was, we would have lost 40, and by this stage now we would have been in a little bit of strife, because we wouldn't have got a player as good as Harry O'Farrell. He would have definitely gone. So Carlton now are in a happy place, and a player I've just thrown on the board, right? Clancy Dennis. So he should be quite exciting for Carlton. He could be one to watch. Do you know what I mean? Would Carlton double up on key defenders at this point? He's a leader, centre half-back, so different to Harry O'Farrell. So this could be a really exciting one.
Okay. Wow. It's official. We have a Camporeale back at the club. I remember talking about this a couple of years ago and then sort of saying, all right, just wait. It's still 2 years away. Time is flying.
You are cute, Terry. I mean,
Flying,
you know
mate.
me. I don't get invest in this, but I mean, I've had the privilege of speaking with Ben. He's a really good kid, and Ben and Lucas, I'm so proud of them. They really deserve this. So Carlton got one hell of a footballer, and looking forward to seeing him, and looking forward to seeing Lucas as well. I'm really hot on Lucas as well, and Ben's in a wonderful position. He gets to come to our club and doesn't have to be a superstar. He can just develop.
Okay. 2 updates. Geelong's pick is in, and there's been a trade. Saints have traded a future second round pick for pick 45 and a future 4th. So the Saints have traded up, and they've traded with Essendon. Why? They've obviously seen someone that they want. Is that a Tom Gross?
I mean, Matt Rose, he's got to be a midfielder. but I mean, the Bants would be Dodson, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would. Well, I mean, it was funny because Jack Steele yesterday said, looking forward to a midfielder. Hang on. Geelong.
I hate this club. Honestly, I hate this club. But Jay Polkinghorn, he he's another player who we talked about earlier, players that have had injuries in the preseason that let them slide, that made them slide. And he was another one, but a key position player, very similar in profile, playing for Norwood, to a player they've got at the moment called Jack Martin, that 190 size. Great set shot at goal. Really good as the conduit between the midfield and the forward line. And this is a very, very, very type selection from Geelong Football Club. The type of thing where they just talent profile. You've never heard of the guy. You had one of the guys in chat talk about Humphreys, who went really late last year. Lawson Humphreys, who's become a superstar for Geelong. Same type of deal here. Very, very good selection by them. And look out for this guy because he's probably going to be like the best player in the draft and we're all going to hate life.
Matt Gandolfo, the rookie draft is tomorrow. So that's where we expect Lucas Camporeale to fall. Is that right?
Unless there's a bid. You got to remember that. Like, that's what we'd hope to happen. But what we hope to happen and what will happen are two different things. But we would be really hoping we get access to him just so we don't have to senior list him. But I've got no no issues with doing it. So
Nick is in.
Eagles are the team on the clock.
Hugh
Boxall?
Hugh Boxall, yeah.
Okay, well, these are the picks that I gave them a bit later, but this guy is another guy that came late, Boxall, and he is a very, very, very WA type player. If you watch WA football, it's very what you'd expect. And these young kids are just behemoth type size, and he's got a real massive endurance, 188. He's an expert in and around the clearances, really good two-way runner as well. He's built like a proper AFL footballer as well. But the big thing that I really enjoy about this guy is he's tall. He plays taller, like that 197. He's got one of the best standing vertical leaps in the country. So good little pick for them. And you can see why they traded up. Someone would have probably taken this guy at this point.
Right. That's great. It was literally
he's a proper footballer as well. It's a need that Saints wanted because it's the type of mid that probably fits their profile. Combative. They probably don't want the je ne sais quoi type player.
Right. There was literally one video of him on YouTube. It was a 12-second video of him taking a mark, running with the flight of the ball. So,
well, here we are. These are really strong now. You've got pick 46, Eagles. They've traded up to get these two people. This is a really exciting selection because they've got two in a row, pretty much. Collingwood's in between. Alex Dodson's there. Tom Gross is there. Jasper Olga's there. Really exciting where they could be.
Yep. Tom Gross still just waiting to get picked up, waiting for a job.
Adam, Tyler Welsh, I personally have him ranked a bit higher than my power rankings. I think he's better than two of the forwards that have been taken, but also affects him the fact that the interest died very, very quickly in him. So he is actually next on there, though, for you, mate. I know you're a I'm guessing you're a Crows fan, so don't worry. I'm a big fan of your boy. Don't worry. I'm looking forward to talking about him. But this is going to be interesting here because Sky World is your oyster with the Eagles. I really would like to see. Can you hear me, Terry?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just checking like Carlton's Twitter to see if they put like a video of Ben.
I'd really like to see if the Eagles. I know there's a few Eagles fans in there, but Tom Gross would be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it fit? Would you guys like that?
Tom Gross.
Like just to really add to that midfield core, Dodson. Is a ruckman a dire need? Like I'm not a big fan of Matty Flynn.
Well, what does
you know what Collingwood? Alex Dodson. That would be an interesting one because they did take Schmertz up there, but it'd be interesting what they do.
All right, the pick is in. Tom Gross. He finds a home.
He is.
There he goes.
Here he is. And you know what? Can I just say, one of my favourite drafts we've analysed this week has been West Coast Eagles. I am a believer. I slated them for that trade, and it was very hard being a Carlton fan because I was enjoying life. But what a turnaround. And Tom Gross, a guy that, again, was talked about top 20. I was a huge fan of him last year. What a talent he can be. Real rambustious the way he plays the game. He's strong through the core. He attacks hard. He brings players in. And I can see that link up straight away, that link up with Harley Reid. That's quite exciting. And Eagles have built quite an exciting list there. Fair play to them.
Absolutely. So why does a player like this slide down to 46?
I'd say the one thing that Tom lacks is probably that POD. In my opinion, it's quite samey. The ball use can be a bit awry at times. It's very raw. I don't think he has that elite pace. He doesn't have that. So all the other players who play his type of role have got that real cute, nuanced difference. But I think there's something there with him. I'm a big fan of him. I like me projects. And I think this is a great project for the Eagles because they will sharpen that kicking up. That's a prerequisite. So great position. And now we go on to Collingwood.
Oof, Collingwood.
I'd love Collingwood's fans' thoughts of what everyone's thinking. But, I mean, we talked about keys. There is a few keys there right now to take. Burmeister being one of them, but surely Doddo in it.
I'm just curious. Are there any Collingwood supporters watching us right now?
I've seen a few in
bid.
chat.
Joel Cochran. The bid has been made.
Hey! Winding people up. So, yeah, Sydney player, this guy here is really, really strong. Sydney should absolutely match this, but real strong key position player and one that I was a big fan of. I think there's something there with him. Very athletic, very mobile, and a modern-day intercept type player. So, indicates maybe they're going down the back. So, with their first pick with that. So is that Clancy Dennis?
Well, I'm just surprised that we have Collingwood supporters watching us for the draft. This is great. Welcome.
I've got a pretty good rep with the Magpies, to be fair.
That is actually incredible. Genuinely incredible to me.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. They are generally the ones that on Pommy Oz, they're really respectful and we have some good chats. Always nice to see them. But I'd imagine Sydney will do this. Sydney will match this, and it's a good little gap.
Yeah. Do we have thoughts on the light blue blazer? I'm liking this outfit.
Oh, the Guernsey that Allies play.
No. Laura Kane's wearing this like light blue number.
Oh, let
It's
me have a look.
class. I mean, you're only updating the power rankings, the next 5, the last 5, while giving us a summary of the kid that's just been drafted. So I get to
Oh, they
enjoy
didn't match.
They what? Oh, they
Tell you
didn't
what,
match.
Collingwood have got one hell of a footballer here. So an elite one-on-one defender, real project here. And that has surprised me. You have done very well, Collingwood. Very accomplished player. He's got an incredible endurance. He really suits Collingwood's team defense type match as well. One-on-one, though, impeccable. 194 as well. So I really like that selection. I think that's best case scenario for Collingwood. So well done, Pies. You've got a real good player. Look after him. I can see a lot of traits in Dylan Moore. With Darcy Moore, your captain. I think him working with Darcy Moore, I reckon you've got a real nice project there. So well done, Pies. Good pick.
So break this down. You're Sydney, Joel Cochran, he was a academy player. Is that right?
He was, yes.
Okay, so they've given him no indication pre-draft that they're going to take him. Is this a little bit awkward now? Like, because he's obviously gone through their academy, like, would they have told him that they weren't going to match if they got to a certain point?
Well, I mean, looking at Sydney's picks, they do need list spots, right? Do you know what I mean? I'm wondering if they've got their eye on a target.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I wonder if Sydney are saying, there is a player on this board, we had 30. We had a player 35. And he is there, right? So, because their last pick, Sydney's, was 41. So, Riley Bice, maybe there was indication to them, someone between us and them is taking Riley Bice, but we also like another player. And maybe that player's still here. So, maybe that also comes into it. Sydney have gone, we will lose our next pick. Let's get him. So that could be fascinating as well. But wow. I really like the Joel Cochran deal. Great deal for Pies. Great player. Yeah, I reckon because Howe's playing taller at the minute. Good shout, Rupert, mate. Definitely will play that type of position. I think you won't see him straight away, but him and Adrian Cole really do impress me as footballers.
So there's a name you've got here in your power rankings, Nathaniel Salzberger. I'm a big fan of the name. Nathaniel Salzberger. That's 6 syllables.
Feel like there's a joke here, Pom. Like that Pom will struggle to say that. Salzberger, yeah, Austrian name, so that it's always nice to roll off the pommy tongue. And Sandringham Dragons boy originally, but he is a Tassie boy and really proud to represent me, Tassie. You know, Tassie are my favourite team to talk about in the juniors.
I've got a chant for him when he gets drafted. Okay, the pick is in.
Okay, Gold Coast. Oh, wait, we've missed a pick. Luca Gregor. What a pick. What a selection from the Eagles. Luca Gregor. He is a very, very good footballer and a player that I said watch out for later.
Luca Gregor.
Because he has really had a strong year. A defender that defends, who is 184. That's really important. You don't get them type of players in the juniors. They do the sexy things.
I told you we had a Josh Dolan in the community. I knew it. So I told you. Hilarious. Anyway.
So this is a great selection here because they've really complemented the players that they've got. So great selection by the Eagles, and the Eagles continuing to do what the Eagles do in this draft, and that is kick butt and take names. Well done, them.
Luca Gregor. Joshy Dolan, mate, great to have you here. If you go back into the stream,
you got drafted earlier, bro.
I remembered your name. I remembered your profile photo, and I remember that there were glasses in the profile photo. But the chat didn't believe me. Anyway, hope you have a great year next year at the Dogs. Now, a bid has been made. GWS bid pending.
They bid on Logan Smith.
Cooper Bell.
Ooh. So Cooper Bell. Let me bring. Tell you what, this gets harder, doesn't it? Tell you what, as they get faster. Right. So Cooper Bell. So Cooper Bell, a guy that has been played tall, forward, and back. Incredibly quick at 199. Really, really fast. Under 3 second 20-meter sprint this year. Brings the ball to ground incredibly well. He competes sensationally as well. I'd imagine GWS will match this.
Pick 96? Like, what's that worth?
It won't cost them anything because they haven't got any picks left.
Ah, okay. So they'll go in a deficit, or it'll be
no. They have. Well, at this stage, what is it? We're at pick 49. So pick 49 with the discount is 150. Remember, the debt is only paid in the round as well. So and then it's alleviated for next year as well. So they'll be in a debt of like 50. But GWS haven't matched.
They're passing on him, so the Gold Coast Suns get him. Okay.
Interesting that. And this is what I was saying in the preview to look for today. I reckon some clubs may start punting on NGAs just because of how this draft board is. If you've got a pick, are you waiting? Are you waiting? Are you thinking, you know what? I don't want to take NGA because that player's there.
Uh-huh.
But Collingwood back on the clock. Now, they were linked to a forward with this position. In my draft, I went defender, tall, forward. And the one that screams out at you, you could go Burmeister, looking for a ruck, forward type player. You look at the other players that are on the list. Gabriel Stumpf could be a shout as well. They've got some really good options for them to look at. So this is going to be really fascinating what they look to do here.
Collingwood. What do they need?
Definitely need a key forward. Definitely need a key forward.
And the best key forward available right now is
Tyler Welsh, but he's landlocked. But Floyd Burmeister definitely would be an option for them. I really like him. Can pinch it in the ruck. But then also you've got some really good numbers here. You've got players like Gabriel Stumpf is in the conversation. Charlie West, Tyler Welsh's messer. He really looks like Tyler Welsh. Tyler Welsh kind of is the exciting one. Charlie West reminds me of Brody Myercheck.
Love that. Hey, Mungster15 on the Pommy and Oz YouTube channel.
Legend.
Thanks, better than Fox Footy. Oh, also, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. That'll help. All right, Collingwood's pick is in. Let's have a look. Who's it going to be?
Charlie West. There he is. I'm a big fan, and I got Charlie West. This is where I get excited. My favourite part of the draft is now where no one gets any love. But Charlie West, I'm a big fan, and I don't want to put Collingwood fans off Charlie West, right? Because I'm going to give Tom Scully as a thing. But he reminds me a lot of Tom Scully. Very quick, works really hard up the ground. At 194, he really uses it well. He holds these grabs. Reminds me a lot of Myercheck. His vertical leap is absolutely insane. It's like watching someone slam dunk. So he plays about 202, 204. Endurance is probably the issue. He just fade out of games massively. But just if you can teach that, you can teach fitness, right? I really like this one. And I'm going to go bold. I reckon he'll be a top 30 player when we redraft it.
Really?
I think people sleep on him because I think people are looking and going, oh, he fades out of games, this, that, but they're the things you can teach. You can't teach intelligence. You can't teach football craft. And he has got it. And I think Collingwood use their forwards in such a unique way. It's why I think Myercheck would be rubbish anywhere else but Collingwood. So with him going to Collingwood, Charlie West, I think he'll be a supreme player. He's learning off, in my opinion, Brody Majacek is his example, a guy that gets the best out of his talent. So I'm a big fan. Good selection.
Sam Davidson goes to the Western Bulldogs with.
You know what that is? I was waiting till we saw him, and it's our second VFL lad. And he's been sensational for Richmond and was looked at in the mid-season draft. And I wonder if Richmond were maybe looking at him because we talked about that small forward type. Did they need that? He's been really strong in the VFL as old Davidson. He's kicked goals. He links up well as well. He's that really nice size as well for a VFL footballer. That 190 size, that awkward size. Runs all day. Works really hard. So real strong there from that. And I like that selection because we've seen so much success recently from them types of players.
I just saw a comment in the chat that apparently Carlton is going to use their last pick of the night on Lucas. Well, I'm just going to find some.
Well, I mean, that's weird because Phoenix Goddard, they reckon, was going to be the last pick. So, I mean, Phoenix Stevens. So that's going to be interesting. So, interesting to see what they do.
John Ralph has tweeted, as a reminder, the Camporeale family might be nervous for Lucas, Camporeale draft host, but the Blues have committed to taking him with their last pick tonight. That's from John Ralph.
It's interesting. So Charlie West, Sam Davidson, these are two good selections. Good selection by the Dogs. And Geelong now, it's interesting because Geelong fans, I don't know if you are in chat, Geelong fans. I don't often see you in my chat, I have to say. I don't think a ruckman is a dire need because I think you've put a lot of time into your young kids. Toby Conway, he's only 21, but you're never going to get TDK. Alex Dodson is a TDK type player, so could be interesting here. Will Geelong do it?
Has any ruck been selected yet?
Ruckman, yeah, we had Kale, who's a ruck forward, but he does play predominantly ruck.
So who will be the Australian ruck?
So we there's Logan Smith still there and Alex Dodson, so that's going to be fascinating.
So the two best rucks in the class are still available. Well, all right.
Sad times.
Jacob Moliere.
So we're going so far. I absolutely hate Richmond, but he is I absolutely hate Geelong. They do it, but we have got a ruck, and this is very interesting because this is a Sturt player, South Australia. So they have taken a ruckman that isn't Alex Dodson, and Alex Dodson continues, and it's fascinating because I mean this in the nicest possible way, but he got moved forward because of Alex Dodson. So this guy they've taken, Moliere, has been moved forward because of Dodson's form. But he's versatile, he's mobile, didn't do so well forward, right? But he did very well as a ruckman. So fascinating. Fascinating. The Dodson story is going to be one that I'm excited to hear about, of why that's happened. Why has that happened? Because the AFL did an article about him, which is usually a clear indication he's going to be drafted.
I think. Hey, Mark, thanks for tuning in, mate. Pom, I think
we love you, mate.
I think we need to branch out.
Branch out to what?
Like just footy and not just Carlton.
Hey, mate, it's therapeutic. You know what? Actually, when you get to know the fans in a non-rival way, I've got to say, you know what? I'm actually going to be sad because the rookie draft is tomorrow, and I'll miss this where we're all friends and we're just sharing football stories. It's my favourite time of the year. But Saints on the clock. Saints have taken Alexander Dodson.
There it is.
He's finally been drafted. And you know what? This is a bargain buy. And I'd love to know what has put people off. Dodson, but he's incredibly versatile. He's quick. He's got speed. He uses the ball well. He reminds me a lot of TDK, Tom de Koning, and that kind of profile ruckman. Not saying could be as good as him, but the world is his oyster. He is so athletic, and this is a great. We've seen teams have success with this dual ruck type setup. He's the perfect foil for Rowan Marshall. So great selection by the Saints. Saints have done well. They've gone exceptionally tall for a team that did say they wanted midfielders, but it's worked out. They've got some good little players in here.
So this was the ruck that was feeding the ball down to Ben Camporeale and Sid Draper and the like.
Indeed, it was, yeah. And it's going to be fascinating. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be fascinating what happens now. But like Ben says, yeah, spot on. Once a ruck goes, they all go, mate. It's like when you draft with your mates. Like, it's just sad. They're all wondering who to pick. They just wait for someone. But right. I do like that pick. Graham, you do like it as well. I know he's a good St Kilda fan. So it's weird they've gone tall, but I think they've done well. I think they've bailed themselves out at the last minute. That's an absolute bargain buy.
Well done. Well done to the Saints.
Well done, Sauce. And it's going to be interesting now because Adelaide are coming up. Now, Adelaide, from memory, only have list spots for their first pick and this guy, and this is their last pick. So Adelaide will be 58. It's going to be funny if they trade this out and maybe buy themselves some time to see if Tyler Welsh gets bid on.
Let me just go to the AFL app. I want to know what the remaining picks are for Carlton.
So Carlton's remaining picks are 63 and 64.
63 and 64. So you're telling me, in theory, if nobody bids on Lucas and we get to 63, we can just get another player?
A few of you in chat are in my in the Carlton group chat, and I said that I will dress in drag as Lady Gaga and sing Walk This Way if we get Tom Gross. I am going to reuse that bet. If Jasper Olga gets to 63 for Christmas, I will sing Walk This Way with the dance in drag as a video. How's that?
Purple lipstick.
Mate, whatever you want, whatever weird dreams you guys, hopes and dreams you guys have, I will fulfill.
I'm right that baby I was born. Clip it. Hey, it's out there on the internet now. You said it live.
Yeah, so 63, 64, and 67. So we're not far off.
We're not far off.
It's Sydney are on the clock now.
Yes.
And this is going to be fascinating. So I'd imagine if John Ralph is true, 67's Lucas. Carlton have made, what, 2 selections? 2 selections? So 5, yeah. So
3.
We could take these 2 picks plus him, and we're still in our list per view.
Okay. And, okay. Denver Granger Barras confirmed to be added to the training squad over the preseason with the chance. Oh, Lucas has been bid on.
Sydney.
Boom. It was Sydney.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
And there it is. There it is.
This is why I hate Sydney at times. Like, there's just absolutely no need. But you know what? Just think of it this way, and I always like say this to people. Just think of it from a human being point of view. Can you imagine how embarrassing it would be to be taken as kind of like just a token gesture? So I actually kind of like the fact that he gets to feel like I've earned that. And
look at the boys, mate. Look, they're stoked. Look at that footage.
Yeah. No, but do you know what I mean? Like, from a point of view, I think it's nice. I'd like to feel that I've earned it. And he definitely has earned it by being an NGA father-son. But I'd just like to feel, this makes me feel a little bit more comfortable in the AFL because the club has had to pay for me. The club has done this because they want me now, not because it's obligated. So I like that. And you know what? I'm a big fan of Lucas. I think there's something there. People have downplayed him as useless, the lesser like player. I like Lucas. I think he's one of them players that he could excel in the AFL. Working with Nick Newman, I see a lot of Nick Newman with him. He's got a bit of grit, a bit of determination. He hates losing. You see him, he punches the ground. And I think Nick Newman would be the great uncle figure for him for a couple of years. So, Lucas, Ben, welcome to the football club, mate. Can't wait to watch you next year. Good, go well, boys.
That's incredible. You made a really interesting comment about Lucas when we did our preview, saying that in the long run, he might actually become the better player because he does the basics better. Ben's got a little bit more je ne sais quoi, and Lucas is a little bit more grounded in the basics.
Yeah, Ben's got that, like, he's like the guy that's the all-star, the excitement machine, where Lucas is the role player. So that's why I have a lot of faith in Lucas, because his ceiling is 6.5 out of 10. Like, that's what we want him. He's the role player. He's going to get his arms dirty, like Pom Cotter. Ben's ceiling potentially could be like, the top 10 players, top 15. So I think he's got a real good ground. And I think if I was him, who would I want to learn off? Nick Newman learned everything. So has done everything the hard way. Sam Doherty maximising, milking his talent. I think he's got some great role models. So good luck to you, Lucas. And I like the fact he's been bid on. It's not a token gesture. Oh, here's pick 67. Oh, thank you, Scott, for giving us your son. He now can walk in there and go, I earned this now. Sydney bid on me. So go well. So Sydney now on the clock. And Jesus, who was Sydney going to wind up next? They've got a few teams that they could wind up. Logan Smith, Adelaide. Do you know what I mean? They could really wind them up. Adrian Cole, St Kilda. They've got a few options here. It's going to be interesting what they do, Sydney. Hard to predict. So let's see what the Sydney Swans get up to.
Oh, you know what? I know you're not like a sentimental guy, but it's actually hitting me a little bit. Like, Scott, 95, premiership player first year, had to leave the club because we're in the shit. Now his son's coming, like, fulfill the prophecy. Mate, it's just great. It's just great for a Carlton.
How did you manage to turn that into fucking Star Wars, fulfill the prophecy? Look, I don't get sentimental, but I speaking to the Camporeales, they're beautiful kids, so good luck to them.
Look at that. See, all that panic early in the year about, the AFL are going to screw us over and we're not going to get the boys. We were always getting the boys.
Yeah,
a bid. React Andrew.
React Andrew. So they have gone from, he's Melbourne's NGA. So React Andrew is they're jewel in the crown, the best kept secret. Dandenong Stingrays boy. Mac Andrews' brother. So very similar to him. Incredibly athletic, 193. Hits the pack like, it owes it money. Like, that's the way he plays the game. He is really aggressive and very similar to his brother. And it's really interesting as well. When people, I have read somewhere on a forum the other day, they were like, oh, he's really small. I'm not really keen on us taking him, Melbourne. So it'll be interesting what Melbourne do. You look at Mac Andrew in his draft year and then look at him 2 years later. Like, I don't know what he had, but the guy suddenly turned into the Incredible Hulk. So I'd imagine Melbourne may pass on this because that's what this is, and they have.
They did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they absolutely did.
Can I just say, Joel Cochran into React Andrew is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, Sydney fans, I know you were upset with how you've done the back end of the draft. I'm telling you, I'm a big fan of React Andrew, like big fan. So I think you've actually come up Millhouse there.
Very good. Hey, All City Jimmy Flash. Thank you for the $5 super sticker. We are on the clock. The pies are on the clock. 4 minutes to go, and the pick is in. Just like that.
So, yeah, well, I mean, the pies now, they've fulfilled need. So this is going to be interesting. Is this Jasper Olga? It's Will Hayes, the boy. What a legend. So Will Hayes, not the Carlton Will Hayes. This is the Western Australian Will Hayes. And this guy is an elite wingman. So you're looking at Ed Allen. You're getting the 180 version of Ed Allen. This guy is an endurance beast. He actually makes me feel sick when you watch him play for Claremont because he's running at pace all the time. But what is rare and a POD for a wingman, this guy is an elite kick. And that's as rare as rocking horse poo as a wingman. He actually hits targets like they're going out of fashion. So great selection from the Pies. Pies have completed their draft. Absolutely. Easily. Well done to them. So Brisbane and I need Brisbane and Essendon from memory. Brisbane and Essendon. Okay, yeah.
So did they have any more picks that get burnt or what happens?
So I think that's from now on, I think that's it for Collingwood.
Okay.
Sydney will go down to 81, 87. But I think that's Collingwood done from memory. Yeah, Collingwood. Oh wait, Collingwood have got 62. So stick around.
All right.
Who's listed as a mid forward? If you're going on Champ's Data don't have a wing position. So mid forward is what they'll be called. But yeah, played, say, 79% of his game time on the wing. So yeah, very good player is Will Hayes.
Quick one at Carlton. Are we done because of that bid?
Oh, no, Carlton have got 64.
We've got 64. Okay.
64 Zulu.
So you're saying now if Jasper Alga gets his way to 64, you will sing Born This Way?
Yes.
For Christmas with purple lipstick on.
Don't know why you're pushing that agenda. It's a little bit weird, but yes. For you, Terry, anything. Matt, I didn't sell used cars, but my heritage is pretty good at selling stuff, so it's probably that. But nah, I love these kids around here. I think you can get a real gem, man. Like, at least 5 of these players post 50 will be in the top 30 when we end it. So it's good. So we've got, 57, 58. North Melbourne, interesting here because they've been rumoured to commit to River Stevens, their father's son. Be interesting what they do with this selection because Jasper Olga, I think you might be able to hear the screams from here when Marnie gets excited, but that'll be interesting here. Hamish Davis would be a great selection, I feel, for them as well.
It's too early to get excited about Jasper Alga. There's still so many picks. Which of these clubs coming up in the next 5 do you think might take the punt? We'll probably rule out Essendon because they've got Kako, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Essendon's dire need is small forwards. So okay. I would take 2, and especially of Olga's quality. It would be interesting because I don't mean to be horrible to River Stevens, but I think he reminds me a lot of Cooper Harvey. And I feel like there's a lot of sentiment attached to his name.
I want to watch you.
Where I don't quite see. For me, if you said to me, Pom, you can only have one River Stevens or Jasper Olga, I'm not sentimental. I'm taking Jasper, and I don't care.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But you've got to remember, North Melbourne do have 2 more list spots than anyone else on the rookie, so they could just rookie him tomorrow.
Right.
And because of father-son, he doesn't even go into the draft, the rookie draft. They can just pre-list him.
So Jasper plays with Jagger Smith at the Oakley Chargers, right?
I know, Terry. Don't sell it. Look, right. If you want to see Angry Pom, I will be pissed if we have pick 60. That we come on the board and we don't take Alga if he's there. I know I said I don't want to see a baby small forward. When we've got kids, I'd like to see a senior one. I want that. So those asking with 64, it did get pushed back, but it went back up with the previous matches in between that. And then also Lucas Camporeale was pick 54, which is 76. So Carlton had 2 picks jammed together. One got killed. So Carlton keep one.
So we're left with one last pick as a Carlton Football Club, and that is pick 64.
Tulane. So yeah. So
this is just for Alga. He's like a marking small forward. I don't see a lot of small forward crumbing in this video.
He's. You know what? Do you know who his clone is?
Always?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Difference with him, though, is look at how he moves in traffic. So, you know, my complaint with Matty O is, if you remember this time last year, when I said you won't be top 8 if he is your best small forward, I'd not say that about Jasper because, look, this guy hits the ground hard. He works overtime. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Jasper.
Yeah.
But North Melbourne are taking 7 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the clock hasn't... I mean, they're still on the clock, in theory.
The rookie draft, I believe the rookie draft is usually 1-2 o'clock. And it's done via text.
What do you mean it's done via text? What?
Well, they don't have to attend... Do you know what I mean? They don't have to attend the draft.
So the rookie draft tomorrow, Carlton have pick 3?
It's inverse ladder order. So Carlton would have pick 8, 7.
Oh.
8.
7?
No. So
Luke
inverse
Urquhart.
ladder order. Oh, what? Oh, Luke Urquhart. You're talking
Luke
about football
Urquhart.
again. So
Yeah.
the midfield East Fremantle midfielder, and this is another guy. We're in that situation at this moment where you could start arguing that they're sliders, but this guy here is just very, very kind of Jack Carroll would be his similarity. I mean, with all love with him, he's the type of player that he plays inside. He's got a lot of the ball. Been really strong for East Fremantle, but that 184 and that size there, you just feel like it doesn't translate at this stage with his ball use to senior football, but a nice slow burn. The one good thing, though, with North Melbourne is you have got a coach there that demands the basics and genuinely finds a hidden gem in his training methods. So this is a real nice, exciting little pickup here who could be anything. If you get this right, it's a genius pick. So he was highly touted and highly loved when they went over and saw the boys in Western Australia. I expect he'll be pretty good for you guys, but a nice project there. We like a project around here.
Luke Urquhart. Okay. Hey, look who it is. Kanga TV. Marnie Cohen.
Hey, Mans. Hey, look, we only deal with happiness here, my love. But yeah, so there we are. We've got 61-62, the old enemy. Seen Carlton and Essendon all have picks around each other. And they've all been playing nice.
Okay.
So who's on the clock now? Gold Coast. So Gold Coast.
Pick forward 58.
So Gold Coast here. Do we reckon Gold Coast might start annoying people?
And just making some bids?
Yeah, just, a bit of banter. I mean, it's Gold Coast last pick till 95, which we presume will be passed. We are getting up to that stage. I think I predicted 73 players to be bid. I think Cal Toomey said 76. So we are near the end.
question from memory. I think we had a conversation around any pick or father-son pick after pick 40 goes on a rookie list. Am I? Is that right?
No, so your bids 59. So Adelaide's pick, there is 0 value after that for bidding.
Okay.
So what that means is how that becomes a bid match is it's just basically you lose your next pick. But as per AFL rules, because someone asked me the question the day after, and it's actually good leader there, Terry, that there was a bid match yesterday where they paid 34 but then got 92 and the change. The reason the AFL give an extra pick for free is because they can't leave you a list spot short. So that's, in this case, what happens is you basically lose the pick, go to the end of the queue, and you get it back.
Right. There you go. No, yeah.
Yeah, but someone asked a really good question yesterday about 3 a.m. and said, Pom, this was matched. I understood why we got the change of pick 55, but why did we get 98? And I was like, oh, it's because you only have the picks for your list spots, and then now you owed a pick as well. So they've brought it in. So, yeah, a nuanced thing.
Okay. So we are presumably going to get to like pick 6 in the 70s before tonight is over, you think?
Yeah, we're probably going to start seeing passes as well at some stage.
Pass.
Like I'd imagine Adelaide may pass because the pick after Adelaide is 0 value, so they will lose nothing next year for it. So
I just want to get to Carlton's next pick and pick Alga and then blow the trumpet.
Well, here we are. Gold Coast are selecting.
Here we go.
I have never known a draft take this long at this stage.
At this point in it, yeah. As in, like,
yeah,
sure.
Usually at this point, it's like 58 Gold Coast select this guy, 59 Adelaide do this.
Come on, lads. Oh, they're on the phone. Is this a trade situation happening?
Is this where Super Nick? Super Nick.
Super.
Someone slid into his DMs and said, Pom's on live saying he's going to dress up in drag if you take Jasper. And he's had a word with Mick Agresta and saying, shall we just do it? like who cares? We need to fill a list spot. Shall we just do it?
Well, all right. Liam McMahon. What's the story there? Would we get him today? Would we get him tomorrow?
You know, I'm a big fan as Richmond have just traded into this. So this is interesting now. Richmond back in the table. And I said, watch their last pick. I reckon you might see Jasper Olga here.
Well. It's fun while it lasted.
But this is going to be fascinating. It's going to be this. They've got some good players there. There is some good players, like loads of players. If I was Richmond, I wouldn't shake a stick at. I'm surprised Cody Anderson's there as well. Hawthorn Academy player. He's kind of Jai Newcombe without the composure.
So, Gold Coast trade, pick 58 for a future 4th round pick next year. Now, if you're Richmond, are you calling this room here for Gold Coast and saying, hey, we want, and then naming the player that they want? Or are you saying, hey, we'll make this offer to you for a trade because we see a player that we like? Like, don't they need to admit it?
I think Gold Coast are in a fascinating position that they've got absolutely thousands of NGAs this year. So at this stage, they're not looking at a player to play now, Gold Coast. Their list is pretty sorted. So I think really they'd like to stay active in the draft if they can, to maybe bid on someone. But I think it's just simple that they get some points next year. Richmond have jumped up from where they were, 80 odd. Their last pick, 89 is their next pick. Obviously, they've seen someone that wets the whistle. And Jasper Olga, like if Richmond get Jasper Olga here, like Richmond have taken the piss.
The pick is in.
Like, honestly, Richmond, well done. You've taken the piss. If you manage to get Olga... There he is! Well done. Let's just quit while we're at
While we're here.
Richmond, we could have had YouTube history. YouTube history. But no. Yeah, you had to draft, didn't you? But great selection by them. And this guy here, we talked about him just off camera. He's that awkward sized player that likes to play taller than he actually is, but works incredibly hard. He loves the paddles. He loves bringing players in and around him. Real talented player. And he'd shot up the draft rankings, but it hasn't quite worked out as people thought. So great selection by them. And Richmond, well done. Great selection.
Jasper Elga. So they are done for the night.
From
How many
memory,
list slots did they have, man? They've made like 8 picks, no?
they had 28 on their sis. They have to hit 36 to 38. So I think you're. I think they can take one more actually from memory. I think they can use 89, but I don't think they'll use it. Like, I think they'll just pass and say, "Yeah, thanks very much. Been a nice year, hasn't it?"
Yeah, fair enough.
So we've got, and it is another player that no one has talked about that is in the mix, and this guy got a lot of love early doors. Sam Turner joins the top 10. He joins the Adelaide. I mean, he joins the top 10 of the power rankings. But Adelaide here, they're in an interesting position. I wouldn't be surprised to see a trade here.
Why? Well, there is a trade. Brisbane have traded pick 60 for a future fourth with St Kilda. So St Kilda get pick 60. So they've obviously identified someone, maybe another defender.
You know what?
Yeah.
Hamish Davis. I don't mind it if I was Saints.
Hamish Davis.
Because he's ready made to play football. That Western Australian, he really suits, I think, what they're looking for as well. Okay. Mid forward, they're looking for a little bit of POD. I had him a lot higher than this. I think he's a sensational talent. So I think St Kilda just maybe might sneak in.
Welsh. Was that Tyler?
They bid on Tyler Welsh.
Tyler Welsh. Yes, they got him. Well done.
So there he is. You know what? Real underrated player this, and a player that's going to really relish working with Tex Walker and learning his craft. I personally think this is a travesty, an absolute travesty that he's so late. Kicking a goal a game. He had a real disappointing year this year by his usual high standards, but strong, very Tex Walker-like. If you watch these highlights, this guy leads from deep, comes up high and really hits it hard. Big fan of his as well. Great kicking action as well. Real nice kicking action. And his Sandford game this year, he played 10 in men's. So people are forgetting that. I think that's what's really killed him, because he didn't exactly destroy it. But he was playing against men, and I think he's a proper old school key forward. Good selection by Adelaide, and he's a great little get. I'm a big fan.
So he's a father's son, but they didn't need to make a bid on him because he just went so late that they just used their pick.
Yeah. It's rare it happens. Doesn't happen a lot, but it has happened here. So there he is. Off he goes.
Well, the pick is in. St Kilda.
So we've had Tyler Welsh. Patrick said. What you say?
Patrick said.
So Patrick said, this is funny because it's Hamish Davis. Say? Pardon?
I said, what did Patrick say?
Oh, good darts. But this is a Hamish Davis type player. Calder Cannons boys, so Sauce has gone local. He does like his Cannons boys. Loves to kick goals. Pretty impressive for Calder this year. 18 touches, particularly late. 2 goals a game. Very Audi Mateus Philippou. But is the kind of player that I'd expect them to see because he needs to put on a bit of size. He's only 180, but good in traffic, very agile. It's a very sauce type player. So,
What
nice
a
little
fascinating name. Patrick said.
Patrick said. No. So, yeah, there we are. Pick 60. They traded up for it. And that's what Sauce does quite a bit. He sees who he likes and he just gets them. So, you can't.
Oh, Pommy. Oh, I'm in trouble here. I'm in big trouble here if he's not back. Okay, you're back.
Sorry, I refreshed my wrong screen. I didn't realise my thing. But there you are. Zach Johnson goes on the board. But yeah, Patrick said, good little pickup for them. And Essendon now on the clock, work to do. Well, I think we're going to start seeing passes in the next couple of picks.
I'm going to need you to share that power ranking screen again, just because when you left, it left. And then I just literally my life flashed before my eyes. Doing a draft stream at pick 61 without you, forget it.
Sorry.
A trade. We have a trade.
There we are. It should be back.
So the Dogs have traded a future 4th round selection to Collingwood, and Collingwood will get pick 62.
So the Doggies get pick 62.
Sorry, the Doggies get pick 62.
Oh,
pick
so we had Reece Unwin. That's who we missed.
Reece Unwin. Yep.
There we are. So Reece Unwin and Patrick.
Reece Unwin goes to Essendon with pick 61. Wow, this is impressive. A lot of these kids have highlights.
Yeah, they do, especially for the Victorian. It kind of helps. The Vic bias comes in, but Reece Unwin and Patrick said, so Reece Unwin, he's a midfielder, plays inside and out. It's real strong defensively. So a good little selection for them. And you're at the stage now when you're Essendon that you've just got to take chances and you can afford to. But Doggies trading up is an interesting one because that would allude that they've got a bit of talent that they see. So this could be a real fascinating selection here because they've obviously targeted someone.
Okay, so they've still got 3 picks left, 91, 97, and 100.
Yeah, they've got quite a few list spots free, they have. But we're going to see what Carlton and Hawthorn. So Carlton are going to come to the table in a minute.
Oh, let's just go back to the rankings, or maybe not. I'll just keep playing Reece Unwin highlights.
Why? What? Can't you see it?
No, because you still had a few spaces to fill out, no?
Tell you what, just if you load it up now, it should be there.
There we go.
We're fine.
Yeah, perfect.
So we're now what Doggies. So Doggies have traded up. Doggies, they need now really. You're just looking at best available players. So Hamish Davies, I think, would be quite high up on their priority levels. I really do. I think he's a ready-made footballer, and I think he's suffering from that AFL WA. Oh, we've never heard of it, mate. I think he could be a real good little selection. So definitely someone I think that they would look at here because he's been his second half of the season. He could arguably been the best player in Western Australia. I think.
The pick is in. Luke Kennedy.
Oh, the slider. So there's always a player from the winning club that gets forgotten about. Cooper Lord was that. This is this year's version of Cooper Lord. Luke Kennedy. One of the few players that is ranked in this draft elite with his left and his right foot. He was heavily raved about in his under-16s year as well because he actually took out his club's BNF. Again, another endurance runner. Defensive midfielder, though. So this guy is kind of like a George Hewitt at 181. Very defensive-minded, like Cooper Lord. So someone that could really add something later down the track. So I really see this as like a Tom Liberatore type protection.
It's a great pick then. So he was just sit there. Not bad to get a player that can give you 30 disposals, 8 tackles, and get him at pick 62.
Yeah, it's definitely one of them selections that, it's one for the future. Do you know what I mean? One for the future. And that brings Fremantle Football Club to the table, who have had a pretty impressive draft. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe you see here a little pass.
Wow. Okay.
But Hamish Davis is there. So you may also say, let's go for it.
Well, I didn't expect us to be on Carlton watch again. Carlton have picked 64. What is the best course of action here for us?
If I was them, Carlton, like here, you can get a bit creative, can't you? Really. You know what? I'd have a punt at Hamish Davis.
Okay.
If he was
Rio?
there. If I was Carlton, have they taken a bid? Jaron Carr, they've taken their father's son. So their father's son. That's really good to see that people are actually taking their young lads. It makes a change. Now, if I was Carlton, I'd maybe have a punt here at Jaron Carr. At Hamish Davis. But Jaron Carr, just to talk about him a little bit, was very late to the nomination. But 191, he's that kind of like third type of forward. Good little skills. He loves to be the conduit. He loves to link up and play. Leads pretty well. Real raw, though, as you'd expect for a guy who's 63. But definitely one of them ones that you're going to see get a bit of waffle time. What?
Carlton just passed.
Oh, they are.
There we go. No messing about. So that means looks
well,
like we're...
Well, Nick Austin said aggressive that we'd only take 4 picks. So that kind of makes sense. And it's been announced Carlton have passed on all their picks. So that makes sense. Carlton have obviously going to commit to players now on the rookie and the second chance players train on. So I kind of like that move. Don't just fill up because you've got to, make them earn it. So I'd say Liam McMahon now, I think he has been invited to train on. Should he not be selected, this could be a really interesting one.
This is fantastic, mate. This is just fantastic.
So I'd imagine here Cody Anderson surely gets picked up because I'm a big fan of the Code Dog.
The big Cody Anderson.
He's one of my favourites.
Nice name.
He's got the dreads. And he's big. He's tough. Like he reminds me of what's his name? Spider Everett.
Big Spider and Chance Bateman. If you are a blue bagger and you have just been waiting for our picks, and you want to know if we're done, we are done. But you are welcome to keep watching. Otherwise, the Carlton side of the story is done. And here we go. Pick 64. Hawthorn. Cody Anderson.
You know what? I don't like it in a way, but I do like the fact that they're being called out. But Cody Anderson, if you're a Hawthorn fan, you're at home, you're like, Pom, who the hell is this guy? Cody Anderson, I want you to imagine Jai Newcomb, but his ball use is a little bit questionable. It's not quite as refined as young Jai, but he is very, very impressive, is Cody Anderson. He's big, he's tough, he works so hard defensively for his team as well. Really suits the Sam Mitchell way, and great to see him picked up. I'm a big fan of Cody, and I think he'll have a real good career. He's at the perfect club, so I'd imagine that means that Hawthorn pass the comedically named pick 69, but good little selection for them.
Well done. Well done indeed. They are saying that Cody Anderson plays like Tom Liberatore.
That's a bold call. But yes, I'd say Jai Newcomb, Tom Liberatore, they're tough players. But we've got Brisbane, they've just passed. We're now at the Eagles at 65. So we should start to see a few passes now. So Pom is going to be working overtime, keeping up with this. But here we are. So we've got 66, 67, and then it's North and Eagles. Okay, that makes it easy. So
pass
this will
is
be fun.
official. The Lions, the Eagles are on the clock. 5 minutes to go. What is the number of picks predicted for the night? How many picks do you think we'll get to, ladies and gents?
I think it was like 7. Yeah, I'd say 70 will be the area. I think will be the happy median. I think 70.
Chat, if you're watching, put a number in. How many picks do you predict that we will have? I'm going to say 69.
Hey! Children. Is it? Tell you what, here we are. There, look at that. Pom's back. I feel comfortable now.
69 dinner for two. You, Luke, my friend, have been watching. What's the skit? It's Chopper Reed on, like someone's playing as Chopper Reed. 69 dinner for two. Oh wow. Okay, you're all children. Disgusted. Disgusted. Okay.
Tell you what, you guys are disgusting. Do you know what
Where
I
do
mean?
you get draft coverage like this, mate? We got jokes for days.
Do you know what I mean? You're very bad. You're very bad people. Do you know what I mean? Very, very bad.
Ronnie John's half hour. Yes. Two little ducks. Quackity quack. 22. It's the bingo. That's right. Anyway.
So here we are. And also, you're going to see someone that you might have heard of.
Oh, yeah?
Who's been added. Malachi Champion. That is the cousin of the nephew of Eddie Betts.
Oh, nice. Malachi Champion.
Great name.
Well, if you are a Greek, you are reading that first name in a very different tone.
How are we saying it?
Don't worry. If you are Greek, you will know.
But it's fascinating. So, I mean, this is going to be a good one. But, I mean, while they mess about and do their picks, some players that I find really interesting that haven't been selected, like great call by Kai, Zach Johnson, Hamish Davis. Archer Day Wicks is another one as well who hasn't gone.
Great question here from Jay. Who is the biggest steal of the draft? Which team did the best and who did the worst? Yeah, who was the biggest steal and who's the biggest slider?
The biggest slider definitely is Alex Dodson at 53. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest steal. I would say I think Tom Gross at 46 is filth.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute filth. Who else do I like? Jack Whitlock, great shout actually, chat. Luke, yeah, 33. How Jack Whitlock's fallen outside of the 30 and been the fourth key forward taken is absolutely sickening. Olga would be up there as well, 58. You know what, Smokey for most Joe Cochran not being matched. That is the definition of theft.
Okay. Well, the Eagles, their pick's in, and it's coming through.
That's nice of them, isn't it? Well, you'd imagine this is Hamish Davis, surely.
Indeed, it is Hamish Davis.
You know what? Can I just give a huge shout out to the West Coast Eagles fraternity? The fact you have managed to have a trade that I wasn't a fan of, and you have ended up the way you have ended up. Fair play to you, because I have no idea. But Hamish Davis, very incredible type footballer. His back half of the year was sensational. Very similar type of player to like Tom Gross and players of that ilk. Links up incredibly well with his midfield. He played in the under-18 Premiership as a bottom ager as well, so he was a very young kid. kicks goals out of his backside, but his work in the midfield is incredible. He's just a clearance beast, links up really well. And he backed that up when he played the seniors. He played 7 games in the men's this year, averaging 5 scoring involvements and a goal a game. So he's a really, really great pickup and someone that I think should have been in the top 40. He definitely was in my rankings. Great selection. Well done.
Well done. Well done to the West Coast. He's getting an interview with Sarah Jones. Like, he's big news.
He's the real deal.
Well, there you go. Hamish Davis.
Can I just say, I'm genuinely gutted Carlton didn't have a shy. Like, I would. I'm not complaining. Nick Austin knows better than me, but I just think, you know what? Have a shy.
Just get amongst it, you know?
Yeah, be a bit of a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? Like, just surprise a few people. But good selection. I can't argue. I can't argue with them getting it there. So that would be close to a steal.
Hamish Davis.
That would be close to it. That would be close to a steal.
Yeah. Okay. Hamish Davis at 65. There's 2 minutes and 54 seconds left on the clock for Geelong to make their pick with 66. Let's have a look. See what they do.
It's going to be really interesting what they do. So you'll see some players that we'll see now that you might be familiar with. Archer Day Wicks comes in, but Geelong, going to be interesting what they do here.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if, because every time they've come to the party so far, Geelong, I think it might be Xavier, but every time they've come to the party, they've put in a bid. Do you reckon that there's a few North players, there's a few Saints players? Do you reckon this is where they just start being dickheads?
Yep. Surely.
Like,
but what's the benefit of making a bid here now? Like, if
there isn't,
right.
But I mean, like, Geelong just make their own rules, don't they? Like, let's be honest. Geelong play by our own rules.
Yeah, well done. Well done to Hamish Davis. Got the family and the friends. He got dad with the flip phone and the flip case behind him. Fantastic.
You know what? He's got absolute fascinating hair. If you look at him as well, he looks. You'd like him, Terry.
Yeah, okay. I do like him. I mean, not sure about the camera angle where his phone is. I mean, he's got to learn to put that camera at eye level, but yeah, we'll work on it.
He can come down here. We'll try and help him. But yeah, I honestly, let's just talk about West Coast Draft, because I'll be honest, full caveat, Spinksy, if you're in chat, let me know. But I slated the draft. I slated that trade. Pick 3. I was like, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. But Bo Allen, Shanahan at 30 is ridiculous. Gross at 46 is gross. Luca Gregor at 48 is on the money. But then Hamish Davis at 65. Like, how have you done that? How have you done that? Well done. Like, honestly, fair play to him. Fair play to him.
Geelong have made a bid on Lennox Hoffman, and St Kilda is on the clock to determine.
Can I just say, this is disgusting, to be fair. Lennox Hoffman is interesting because Adrian Cole's not there, and I'm a big, big fan of Adrian Cole. But Lennox Hoffman, this will be interesting because this might now start telling us why Geelong why Saints only bought their own play, like bought keys, bought defenders. Suddenly we kind of know why, because maybe they anticipated this happening. And it looks like they've passed.
Looks like they've passed.
And there you are. Now we know why. Because they didn't want him. Obviously, they didn't want their own players. They wanted to get better versions. And that's a good pickup there. Now, we talked about Lawson Humphreys. He's a 190 player, is Lennox Hoffman. Strong defensively. His kicking probably holds him above Adrian Cole in some places. He did get a VFL game, though, for Sandu this year, and his VFL game is probably well worth for a lot. Watch if you're a Geelong fan. 15 touches in that game, 5 marks. A very raw product, though. It has to be said, very raw product. But there you go. Now it makes sense. Now Saucy's methodology, he obviously doesn't believe in his NGA, which is a surprise.
Okay. Well, the pick is in for...
Pass, is it?
No, that was a pass. So now North Melbourne are on the clock. West Coast pass on pick 67. Sorry, or was it Hawthorn? Yeah.
Yeah, Hawthorn.
Okay, so Hawthorn have passed. That means North Melbourne now have pick 67.
So this could be River.
River.
So this could be River. West Coast 67, 68, 69, and then it's Melbourne. Melbourne and Saints. Melbourne and Saints. Tell you what, one day when we're a major $1 million company and I just have some absolute pleb doing this for me, I can't wait.
One day, yeah, we'll have a production team doing all the button pushing behind the scenes.
Okay. And you know what, as well, I won't be arrogant. I won't be like, oh, come on, get this done, because I have an appreciation of how hard it is.
Hey, man, gotta eat the dirt.
Do you know what I mean? I'll be like, well done, boys. Cheers. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Great question by Glenn Carter. There is some real good Adelaide players. Benny Barrett is tied with Port. Phoenix Hargrave is a good one as well. Like Aidan Hodgson, you asked for as well from West Adelaide. There's quite a few South Australian talent which these melts won't have seen in Victoria. That'd be like,
is that Carlito in the North Melbourne recruiting team?
I'm not watching it.
But River Stevens, well done.
As we said, he's a pressure-based forward. Can kick goals, but very like Lockie Fogarty, that type of player. He smothers the ball. He's really quick, lightning quick. And you know what? Big, bold call. You haven't seen one of my favourite players there yet, a guy called Braden George. If you ever wanted to give Braden George someone to work off, I would give you River Stevens. So I'm looking forward to watching the VFL next year. It will be one definitely to watch, I think, watching these guys, because River Stevens can play ball.
You know the guy in the North Melbourne? Don't worry about it.
With the big afro?
Yeah. Did you ever watch WWE with Carlito? He's like, I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Yeah. I remember. I've seen like glimpses of it. That's it. Yes, I know who you mean. I can't think of who it is, but I exactly know who it is.
Luke, staying on this stream until we both lose our actual minds, like when we stayed up for the Crips tribunal. Mate, you think we're going to lose our minds tonight? Do you know what we've been through? Do you know what we've been through? This is just...
Well, this could be a fascinating one for Eagles, because the Eagles here just go Malachi Champion. Do they bring him in? Because I think Malachi Champion gives me Tyson Stengel vibes. Not really given the love. Not given the love that he deserves. They may pass, but it'd be interesting, because if they pass, Malachi Champion, it'd be very interesting. They do have an early pick tomorrow, so they probably rookie him. But it would be interesting if we talked about Richmond only have Olga as the small. Would be interesting if they look to get in front of Richmond. Would be interesting, but we'll wait and see. Yeah, at the past.
River Stevens, son of Anthony, 2-time North Melbourne Premiership player.
So Adelaide have passed as well?
Adelaide have passed. No, it says the pick is in. No, sorry. I'm a little bit behind you. Passed.
Oh, sorry. I'll stop ruining the surprise.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
But so we've got Melbourne on the clock now. Melbourne, it's interesting, like what you do here if you're Melbourne. Like they do have a lot of list spots to fill. Melbourne.
Do you know how many twins have played for the Carlton Football Club?
Haven't got Scooby.
4. 4 twins since 1907. David and Doug Gillespie, Alex and Harold Hanton, Jessica and Sarah Hosking, And now Ben and Lucas Camporeale. Well, Ben and Lucas haven't played a game yet, so there's that. But yeah.
So the tradition of playing brothers isn't as poignant as you lot make me believe. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Is that official now that you guys are just winding me up and it's just been a social experiment?
Yeah.
Be interesting here because Melbourne, what could they go for? There's some real tasty things. Clancy Dennis screams footballer. I agree with Dale. I think bringing Clancy Dennis in, I'm surprised he's there. He's a very, very accomplished customer and one that I can see a scope for getting better as he quite quickly. So this could be good. Could be good.
Can't be taking that long. I mean, I guess they're waiting for the interview to be done, but can't be taking that long now, right?
Yeah, at this stage, Terry, we are literally watching a Fugazi. Like, this is a sham. At this stage of the draft, sham.
Absolute sham.
Yeah, because, like, now they'll take a break because Cal Toomey wants to go for a beer.
Yeah.
And suddenly,
Michael,
they'll take 10 minutes.
Now you're talking, mate. Let's just get Carlton right before we branch out. But I like it.
So someone asked about passing. Is there any benefit? Okay, well, you've got to remember that your list size on your senior spot can be 36 to 38, and then it's a maximum of 44 outside of that senior position. So if it's 36, you can have 6 rookie A's, 2 rookie B's, or 8 rookie A's if you're North Melbourne. So some teams pass because they'd rather move the cap and put them in rookies. So that's why they also do it. Aiden Johnson.
Aiden Johnson. Aiden Johnson.
So Aiden Johnson, who is, I believe, if it's the right one, is a Werribee boy, is he not? Is it the Oakley Chargers one? Is that one popped up?
Key forward?
Yeah.
Yep.
Aiden Johnson?
No highlights on him, but yes.
Yeah. Is it the Werribee one that's popped up? Let me just have a look. Yeah, Werribee, fantastic. So, real strong year for Werribee this year. Has swung down back. He's a mature age player. He's a player that's ready now. Kick goals. If you want to go and watch a game, if you're a Melbourne fan, watch his Footscray, Coburg and North Melbourne and Northern Bullants, 13 to 15, where he does. But he's that size, you know what I mean? He's that safe pick there. This is better than getting like a rookie in for them. So, not an exciting position, but 6 years older than everyone else.
So St Kilda pass with 69, Freo pass with 69, and Collingwood are on the clock.
So the Pies are on the clock. So yeah, now you're going to see lots of passes. So hopefully that answers your question why they'd pass. There's less. You're saving money and stuff like that. So it's inconsequential. At this stage, you're not getting paid very much anyway. So it's going to be interesting. We've got the Doggies.
Collingwood pass, the Doggies on the clock.
So you might see a mass pass here.
So basically, if every team passing from here on in, that is that to suggest that they just won't take another pick? Like Collingwood right now, they've passed. They're not taking another pick now?
Well, Collingwood have got no more picks. You'll find they will indicate on that little silly thing they have, the thing where they input, they have an option to pass the next pick but keep the next pick captive, or they might just totally pass. So I think it was Adelaide who totally passed, or Brisbane, because they don't have the list spots as well. So they had one list spot free, which is going to be Sam Day, and they had 5 picks. Because remember the rule I told you yesterday? You got picks for list spots. You can cheat once the draft is live. You can have 20 picks for list spots.
Gotcha. The Dogs have passed. Geelong's on the clock. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go. We might actually be right here. There might be 69 picks in the draft.
Well, we've got Geelong. They're contemplating. They're probably looking down like who's not being bid on. Interesting, Logan Smith and Floyd Burmeister have just not been selected, and hopefully they do, especially Floyd. Big fan of Floyd. I think he's got a lot of talent as the young lad. Logan Smith, I am very surprised hasn't been selected. Like, I'm a big fan of his work.
Geelong with pick 69, Sydney with pick 70. We are at the... It can't be more than like 20 minutes left of this draft tonight. And this might be the last... This actually will probably be the last proper long live stream of 2024, you know, that we do. Like,
well, yeah,
over 2 hours.
You're not getting Lady Gaga, are you? Thanks to Nick. So you can direct any complaints to Mr. Nick Austin. But
this is like wrapping up the season. This is big, man. This is big time. This is the last time that you and I will be on like a long ass stream for the fucking year, man. This is like signing off.
We've got no life. There'll be some reason that we do a live. Like, I don't know, Patrick Cripps fucking chips a toenail or something like that. There'll be some reason. Do you know what I mean?
Live from Blue Abroad. Live stream of Patrick's surgery on his stub.
Bro, I've done this way too long with you that there'll be some ridiculous reason that I dust off the camera.
Oh my god.
So stay tuned for the rookie. So it says the rookie draft, it's reverse ladder order. So it will be Richmond pick 1, North pick 2, Eagles pick 3, Adelaide pick 4, Melbourne pick 5. So it's the reverse ladder order. You can't trade these picks, and only if you enter it, and only if you've got the rookie spots, because you can't senior players. Then you have the PSD, which is after the train on things. So yeah, and that's done in like instantaneous. It's usually about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They don't have to attend. It's a sham draft, and literally Kaltumi just posts the picks.
Right. So we are... Oh, the pick is in. Geelong.
Yeah, Geelong have a load of list spots. So this is a real nice position to pick. I mean, Floyd Burmeister, Archer Day Wicks is a real Geelong footballer. It's going to be interesting what they go here.
Cats are picking, yeah.
I'm going to go bold. Xavier, they do it.
Xavier Ivicic.
Nope, they've gone to the Western Jets. Caton, Matafai, Forbes, another third forward type player. So another third forward type player. And this is really interesting because this is now starting to make sense why they bought a legend that is Jack Martin. Suddenly
Caton,
makes sense.
Matafai, Forbes. So is he? What's his background? Matafai. That's like, is he Polynesian?
I believe, yeah, he's Samoan. I hope I don't offend anyone there, but I do believe he's of Samoan descent. But yeah, he's big. He's strong. He's got all them traits you'd expect to see. Jack Martin, very similar player to Jack Martin. Had some real niggle injuries towards the back end of the year, which didn't really get him going. And another very interesting, some of the players that Geelong have picked, who are these types this year, are players that started life as halfbacks. So did Jack Martin. Very, very interesting little pom fact there for you. They've
Sydney
obviously
have passed. North Melbourne have passed. West Coast on the clock. So Sydney have the pick after West Coast. So if West Coast pass here, you'd think Sydney's going to pass. We might have 69 picks, mate.
Yeah, so at the moment you've got West Coast. Richmond have got another pick. So it's, according to this, Sydney have hard passed. So Sydney now are totally gone. So now it's Eagles, Richmond, Eagles, Suns. So this is funny. Eagles have passed, so now we have Richmond. So Richmond are on the clock, doing everything they can to keep it at 70. So you'd imagine here, because they traded up, this is a pass. They leave a spot open on the rookie and try and do something exciting with it later. I'd be
Pick is in
shocked.
West Coast. No, yeah, Richmond.
I'll be honest. I'd be shocked if Richmond don't pass here.
I didn't realize that the AFL website had a different stream to KO.
Mate, mod cons, bro. Mod cons.
How many people do you think are watching this AFL stream?
Oh, I probably don't want to say it because it'll annoy me.
I'm gonna
like,
say, how many people are still watching?
I want Calty. Calty doesn't know how easy it is when you just sat in the office going, yeah, this player does this, bro.
True, you got like graphics on the bottom. You've got like a whole team on the other side.
Mate, that would be my dream. Someone just going, Pom, don't worry, I've sorted it for you, kid. You just talk.
I don't know what I would do if I had a production team clicking the buttons. Like during the fan cams, for example, I don't really know what it's. I've never experienced just being live instead of being live, like clicking buttons.
Yeah, you know what would be great, and thank you for all the lovely comments in chat. I'm glad you've all stuck around. It's an absolute pleasure talking draft with you. You know what would be gross? You know,
What?
is just taking the piss because we've done it. We could be like, "Way spelling mistake." Way. That's what I do. I just wait for them to make a mistake and just take the piss and be like, "Way."
I think we could do a watch along of pretty much anything in the world and make it tolerable.
Yeah, because we're idiots. That's why.
Yeah, that's also true.
It helps if you're stupid and you've got a sense of humor.
Like, what's one of the most boring things to watch in the world?
You know what? Controversial for a Pom. Probably anything that's like a royal wedding. Fucking goes on forever.
Mate, we could do a royal wedding watch along easy and have the biggest laugh. Like it'd just be like people watching.
Oh, mate. Yeah. You see, I love all that pomp and circumstance, but honestly, we had a national holiday when Will married Kate. And honestly, like that went on forever. I was so drunk, I couldn't tell you what happened. But old people were sat with us in the house party and they were loving it. And like I was completely blattered by the time Will walked to the altar. I couldn't tell you what happened.
I just realized we've got something here. We could start a YouTube channel where we do watch-alongs of the world's most boring events and like turn them into like just watchable.
American election. Matt, we missed a trick, brother. We missed a trick.
A Pom and a Greek Australian do the American election watch-along.
Can I just say, Vistra, wash your mouth out. Golf is not boring to watch. I'll give you the normal tournaments, but the majors, mate.
I can't say that I've sat and watched more than 10 minutes of golf at a time in my entire life on the television.
Come on, guys. I don't go out my way to offend you guys, do I, sir? I too can do goat trips. So yeah, look, I'm happy. I'm, you know, honestly, chat. You know what makes it? You know what? It's you guys that make it good. Like you guys help it. You know what, Rocco? Can I just say, lawn bowls is boring as shit to watch, but you go down and watch lawn bowls events like live, mate. Best time of your life. Probably because I got drunk, but it was good.
Lawn bowls, barefoot lawn bowls, good fun.
Yeah, playing it's fun, but I mean watching it. Like we went to the Commonwealth Games. If you actually watch the Glasgow Commonwealth Games, me and my mate were that drunk, you could actually hear us. We started chants and stuff like that. Like we got well into it.
Looks like the Bombers are going to take a pick here.
They could do because they've got huge things. Zach Johnson!
Ooh.
Yes! Yes! Zach Johnson finally gets drafted. And this is a huge surprise because I had him very high up in my rankings. I had him in the 50s. Another Northern Knights boy. You know I love my Northern Knights boys, but this guy is a midfielder, can play inside and out. Was cut down with an injury at the start of the year again, and then towards the end of the season, which knocked him out of the combine. Real good runner, loves playing on the outside. Recently just moved inside, but elite speed, and he's a very one-way. This is a kind of midfielder that we would have seen 10 years ago before they all became two-way runners. So a real good project. And you know what? For Essendon, I really like Essendon's last couple of picks in this draft. Recently, Unwin, who's a real nice, well-rounded midfielder. Then Zach Johnson, they've gone with that real one-way dynamic midfielder, which I don't think they have and not many clubs do. But they've got real clever players, Richmond have, who are defensive side. Zach Johnson's just all one way. So I really like that. I really like it as a compliment.
Also looks like the Giants have put a pick in.
Hopefully they pick. They have Logan Smith. Thank God for that.
Okay.
I was beginning to worry. I'll be honest. But Zach Johnson and Logan Smith. Logan Smith, I really think either there's been like some special deals going on up in AFL HQ, or maybe I just have overrated him. But I've really liked what Logan's done. He's athletic. He uses the ball incredibly well, which is as rare as rocking horse poo in these players. He's real physical, and he does the second, third, fourth efforts, and he can also kick a snag. So I'm a big fan of Logan Smith, and I think this is a great little acquisition for them. And we go back to Essendon at pick 72.
Michael Madden, you guys are butter. Smooth, creamy, make the product so much better. Don't need you on my bugger rings. Huh. Thanks.
Mate, we love that. We do love that.
Zach from St. Mary's in Greensboro. You know I played 1 year of footy at St. Mary's, under 19s. There you go.
Look at this, Terry. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, you know that. Yeah. I'm glad that we got some local talent, people that know people or have got some affinity. I think that's always a good thing. You have that quite a lot in England, like when kids make debuts and you find out they played for a club that you played for as a junior, and then you fall in love. It's always a nice story. But this should be the end of the draft. You might see Essendon make one more selection. I'd imagine we see everyone pass though now.
West Coast on the clock with pick 72.
So it's 72, and then it's... I was going to say, what's after 72?
73?
Right, just all the numbers are merging into one now. But yeah, they're all merging into one. Oh yeah, so yeah, we've got S. So you'd imagine now GWS is stuck between, but I'd imagine GWS they pass their pick as well. But this should be your last selections.
Looks like this. Sounds like they're wrapping up.
Well, do you remember if you remember last year, I don't know who watched like it last year, but last year, like they kind of ruined the ambience because like literally all the list managers were just like, you know what, fuck it, we're out.
And they just left.
No, honestly, yeah, like they were all packing away.
Oh man, look at it, West Coast now. They're like backpacks on. They're walking out the door.
Yeah, but that's what they did. Like they were trying to build it up. I remember last year, and like everyone was like laptop in the bag. Yeah, they went to like other clubs and they were sweeping the floors.
Mate, they're like shaking hands, saying bye to each other. Question: at this moment in time, how many list spots do Carlton have now?
I can tell you. Let me open my other sheet. Off-season megabook. Carlton have taken 4 in this draft. Am I correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, 32, 36, 3. We've got 3 rookie spots left, rookie A.
And so that includes like a Denver Granger Barras potentially?
Yeah, so at this stage, everyone done. We've got 36, so we could add 2 to the senior list, or we can add 3 tomorrow in the rookie A draft.
Gotcha.
So it depends.
think
I'd
we'll
imagine
keep
they
the-
probably agreed with DGB to be a rookie anyway.
Okay. Do you think we will go into 2025 with one spare list spot for the mid-season draft?
You know what? That's the dream. That's the dream for me as everyone passes. GWS are on the clock. That's the dream for me because that means that, you're backing your list in. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it always worries me when Carlton are like, because we've said that for the last 3 years, if you remember.
Mhm.
Oh, we're going to only take 3 at the draft and leave 1 open for MST. And suddenly we have 3 fucking injuries. Carlton are asking for an extra draft to tide them over. It would be great if I saw tomorrow one rookie, just one rookie, whether that be Liam McMahon, whether that be like one of the Sandy boys they've got an eye on who hasn't been selected, whoever it may be. And then we give a train-on spot to someone. We just take one of them and Carlton go in with a list spot on the rookie A, totally available, no injuries. They're like, you know what, VFL team, that spot's yours. Like, I'd love Nick Austin to go down to VFL and say, we've left one open, that's yours if you have a good half season.
Right. GWS, it says the pick is in, but let's just see about that.
It's going to
It
be
says
interesting.
pick is in, but the guy's putting his laptop in his laptop case. Nice laptop case, by the way. That's actually nice and neat.
Well, I mean, this could be interesting who this is. Clancy Dennis deserves to be playing on a senior list, to be honest, but I can't believe we've had no Tassie boys.
Oh, really? It's too much of a risk because of what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, good. They've just dogged my Tasmania.
Oh,
Should be a
wow.
rule.
Saints walking away, Brad Scott walking home. Everyone's packing up.
So it's going to be a fascinating one, this. Obviously, their last pick, Logan Smith. GWS, I can't believe they're actually taking the full 5 minutes. Like, GWS, like, nah, I'm going to make you stay.
But they're packing up. They're walking out. They're shaking hands with each other in the room.
You know what it is? It's
The
one of
pick
them
is in.
things that GWS have done that classic, when you get to leave early on a Friday and someone says, have you got any questions? And there's always that one dickhead who asks 3 questions. GWS are that guy.
GWS have passed, and there you go. That has been the 2024 Telstra AFL Draft.
I can't believe it took them 5 minutes to pass.
Oh, wow. That was something. That was fantastic. I think we did okay. I think we got through technical difficulties. We made it work. Can I just say thank you to you? That was incredible. Like, that was actually insane. Just how you have so much information about like the 66th pick is like bonkers. Like, enough to fill 5 to 8 minutes of just time. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, you just think of how many games Pom watches on a weekend as well as AFL to have lists of notes and go back and jog it. But I'll drop that link as well for you all in chat after this. I'll put a post up on Twitter as well. But make sure you go on any of the kids that you're unsure of, you haven't seen, you're wondering who they are. Really use that link, AFL On Demand. Go back. If you want to DM me, go Pom, suggest a game for me to have a watch. I'm more than happy to do that. But it's a great access and it's really hidden. Just so you know, it's really hidden on the AFL website. Shout out Damo. Cheers, mate. 11 months. But use that link there. There is literally every game at the junior level. So it's hidden on the AFL website. Like, you won't find it. So if you click that link, it takes you to round 1, 2024. All the rounds are there, all full games, brilliant camera angles, and I'm more than happy to give you some tip-offs of which games to watch.
Incredible. How about this? I just saw this. This is Harry O'Farrell from Carlton getting picked. Check it out.
With pick 40, Carlton have selected Harry O'Farrell.
You know what I love about it is this sounds so horrible. That's such a private schoolboy's reaction. You see how polite that roar is? If that was the north of England where I come from, and they said pick 40 Dan Williams, my mate would have laughed me with celebrations. Like, they'd have been like giving me nuggies and pulling me pants down. It wasn't like, oh yeah, that's brilliant. Quality.
Incredible. Well, we don't need this anymore. We can actually just go back to here. So, ladies and gents, it's kind of the end of an era in many ways. It's kind of the closing chapter of the long streams in 2024. BA show will be around. There'll be shorter videos coming out and preseason content, stuff like that. But that concludes an unbelievable year, Pommy. A seriously unbelievable year, mate. That's crazy.
Mate, it's been mental, hasn't it? It's always fascinating as well this time of year because it's kind of like you get to spend so much time with you guys and girls like from different clubs, and it's really nice to do it. And then it's like kind of sad because this is like the one time of year where we're all mates.
True.
So it's a beautiful time. So it's always sad because it's like a year's of work and I get a month off now and then start again.
Yeah. Well, that is your 2024 AFL Draft live here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel and the Pommy and Oz YouTube channel. Tomorrow is the rookie draft. Are you doing anything for that? Are you doing anything live or like anything?
Tomorrow is Mrs. P's birthday. So you will get... she's catching me up. You'll get content over the weekend. I'll do a full list analysis of every team. And that's it. So you'll see that Saturday. You'll have 18 videos, your full teams, and what you've done. And we'll do some initiation and a list analysis. There we are.
Yep. Well, have a great night, everyone. Go footy, but go Blues.
Go footy.